it down now to really the final three games of the National Football League and pretenders and contenders. First and foremost, though, I want to start this out. I was just telling Xander, I saw one of the coolest things on the planet this past weekend. And I'll tell you, man, this Fernando Mendoza kid gave the greatest Heisman Trophy speech of all time. Everything that personifies winning, everything that personifies hard work, being an underdog, being a two-star guy, and going on and transforming a college football program like Indiana, and to sit there to be winning the Heisman Trophy on Saturday night. He's a credit to the Cuban community in South Florida. I mean, that was just a fucking great speech. I talked to Dave Dunn this morning, his high school football coach, who went to my high school in Stamford, Connecticut. And he went to Columbus High School. You talk about character. This kid is just riddled with it. Now, I don't know if he's a first-round guy, but I'll tell you what, a general manager is probably going to draft him high. And you know what? It'd be privileged, and I'd be proud to have a guy like that on my football roster. That guy personifies everything that you want in a champion. That guy personifies winning. That guy personifies hard work. And you know what? If I'm wrong, I'm going to be wrong with a character guy. I really fell in love with Fernando Mendoza over the weekend. Man, has that guy got somebody. He sounds like Tom Brady. He just sounds like Tom Brady, man. It's just a winner. And every single kid, man, he gave a speech and he was talking about like, hey, if you think that you're not good enough, just think of this. I didn't either, and here I am holding the Heisman. That guy's going to be an NFL quarterback, man. I am absolutely just thrilled that guy represents South Florida. Going to Columbus, Christopher Columbus High School. And now the Explorers have a Heisman Trophy winner. Kudos to you guys, man. All right. That was awesome. I really enjoyed. You know, well, again, you see Abe? Abe goes to backup. Abe goes to backup. Yeah, that's what they thought Jalen Hurts and Tom Brady was the backup. That's what they were drafted for, being a backup. Silz, did you tune in to any high school football championship? Carson's Palmer team looked amazing. De La Salle didn't get off the bus. I was shocked that De La Salle didn't get off the bus. I watch all that. I keep in touch with high school football because of the University of Miami and Mario Cristobal. I do. I see all the great kids and all the great programs that are around the country. And I was glad to see that, Xander's school. I didn't know Xander went to that school before me and him met, but I knew St. Joe's. St. Joe's, Don Bosco up in like the New England area. Those are some of the best high school. Penn Hills over in Pittsburgh. There's so many great high school football programs. Cherry Hill's got some great football programs. You know, in the New Jersey area, there's so many great football conferences. In my opinion, I played in the greatest college potential, like giving kids to go to colleges. I played in the FCAC. It's one of the greatest high school football conferences in New England. And so many pros have come out of there. Dwight Freeney came out of there. So many people have come and gone out of that conference. Steve Young played in that thing. We had a couple Hall of Famers play in it. Truly remarkable. So kudos to Fernando Mendoza. Now, the fucking glazed donuts are out in force. I knew it. I said it. Thursday and Friday, you're going to have people now try to tell me off that Raider game, you're going to try to have people tell me that the Eagles are back. Here, I'll give you, first and foremost, what was you guys' takeaway? Let me hear. What was your takeaway on this game here between the Eagles and the Raiders? What was your takeaway? And I'll tell you my takeaway right after you guys. What did you take out of that football game? What were some of your number 1, number 2, number 3 takeaways from that Raider game? Okay? Let's see. We still suck. No. We still ain't shit, Silz. Here. I got to find a glazed donut. Let's see here. Pete Carroll deserves better. 30 snaps from center. Okay, that's good. Okay. McKee killed 10 minutes. All right. Yes. Yes. I got that written down here. Yes. I'm noticing that the last 2 games, actually, too. So what did you learn, Jessica, about Jalen Hurts from that Raider game? What did you learn, Jessica, about Jalen Hurts? By the way, I didn't learn anything about the team. You took care of business, you beat a shitty team, and now you want to get thanked for not robbing a bank. I'm not impressed with that win. At least offensively. That's not an impressive win. It's an impressive mentality win. You took care of business. You showed up. You didn't play down to your competition. Here, Carolina played down to their competition over the weekend and got beat by the Saints. That's playing down to your competition. The Eagles didn't do that. By the way, that's a pretty big item. Not playing down to your competition is a big deal. That's not something that's to glaze over. So I give you that. The lack of penalties, I think, was big. Turnovers. The lack of turnovers was big. Only thing I saw that was impressive was AJ's TD. Okay? Nice win for morale, but we still got a long road. I love that take, and that's a realistic take. By the way, I got to tell you guys, a lot of you are, listen, I'd say the majority of the Eagle fan base is kind of where I'm at. Hey, look, nobody's suggesting to you that you're not a good football team. But I think you're in it with the rest of them. You know, I heard Xander John saying, I don't really see anybody in the NFC that frightens me. Well, I'm sure those teams are also saying the same thing. I don't see any team in the NFC that frightens me. Eagles don't frighten anybody. The only team that I would think, because of their front seven, is the Rams. Rams still had 34 points put up on them. Okay? They still had 34 points put up on them. Since you can stir up the Eagles' nest with your words, imagine if the Eagles had Allen. That would be amazing because you could cover and glaze also. Well, I saw a guy down like 21-7 lead his football team back against the Patriots on the road. And Superman had to put his cape on, and he did. Remember, Jalen Hurts can play like shit and you win. Allen can't play like shit and them win. That's not going to happen. You better go watch those Rams. That's a team. Yeah, probably the best team in the league. Some would say Denver. Hey, by the way, Denver's beaten the Eagles, and they got the best record. Are you buying them? Are you buying them? Okay? Are you buying them? They beat you, and they have the best record in the NFL. Yeah, I love Senor. Allen played like shit. 3 touchdown passes in the ball game, and he ran for 50 yards in the game. He had 123 quarterback rating against the top seed and the 11-2 Patriots. It's a far cry from playing that fucked up bullshit Raider team, isn't it, guy? All-Pro never happened. Micah only play big downs and blitz plays. That's right. Well, John McMullen thinks he's the next coming of Lawrence Taylor. They're going to miss him, though. They are. How would you feel, Silz, if the Eagles went to the NFC Championship game against the Rams? Have the Rams number lately? I would think that the Eagles really, I would say this, the Rams have to prove they can beat you. I would. Burrow got shut out by the Ravens. I know. Be nice if he had a defense. Dude, Gabe. I mean, where are you going with that? Are you suggesting Joe Burrow's not a great quarterback? That's so fucked up, man. Okay, so Justin Herbert's 2-0 versus Jalen Hurts. Okay? So don't ever say that Herbert's not better than your guy based on your metric. Herbert's beaten Hurts twice. He's 2-0. Shitty quarterback. Well, he fucking beats you. Injuries are starting to pop up for other teams while we're getting healthy. So that might be a huge advantage for us. Devontae Adams hamstring, Parsons torn ACL. Correct. Are you sure that Jalen Carter's coming back healthy? As a fan base, are we nuts? The Raiders stink. So let me give you my takeaway. Here's the beautiful thing. I'm not a fan of your team. I'm Switzerland on your team. You guys are the glazed donuts. I'm going to be the only guy in the Philadelphia area give you reality. Okay? Here's what I took away. You did the number one thing. That's the most important thing. That is, never play down to one's competition. And you did that. Okay? Just because the Raiders suck, that don't mean you suck. And you put that out there and you did your job. The Raiders are decades away from being a contender. Even the commentators were making that comment. Offense is humming now. Defense is lights out. That is a fucking glazed donut take. If I've ever seen. There's so many people in here that are predictable. What does Kansas City do at quarterback next year? Draft a quarterback? Absolutely not. Patrick Mahomes would be all right. First time he's had a significant injury outside of that ankle injury a couple years ago. He'll be fine. They need to retool that offense. Silz, what do you think has a better chance of success? Broncos or Rivers and the Colts? What team should the Eagles avoid to play in the first round? Seattle or the loser of the West. And I got a feeling that's going to be probably San Francisco, but don't be shocked if Seattle has a worse record than what San Francisco does, and you line up in the wild card round against Seattle. Now, they would have to come to Lincoln Financial because that would mean the Rams won the West. Okay? Wait, Silz, the Cowboys beat the Raiders, and you damn near jacked Dak off for beating them. Let me ask you this, though, okay? Hey, bro, we have sample size of you guys, too. Just because you beat someone earlier in the year means dick. Except when it comes to playoff seeding. You're 5-5 over the last 10 ball games. You're 5-5. I saw you beat the piss in 2023 out of the Buccaneers earlier in the year. I saw them kick the shit out of you in the playoffs. That don't mean dick, dude. What happened in 23? You beat Bucks early, and then on that playoff game, you got your fucking heads kicked in. The team you saw in September has no bearing on the team you're going to see in December and January in the playoffs. Again, let me give you my takeaway here. I think you took care of business. It's the first time all year yet you've played 4 quarters. Albeit the Raiders suck. That's a Raider issue. Take care of your own business. Don't beat yourselves. So many teams in this league beat themselves as we're getting into a playoff run, and they just don't show up. Sam Darnold against our line in the playoffs would be ideal. Sam Darnold, man, I'm going to show you something here. That guy is like 25-6 in the last 2 years. But do I trust that guy in the playoffs? I got to say no. Eagles haven't beat Seattle since 2008. They own us. Well, again, Leon, that stat right there, actually, I don't give a shit about that stat, but I hear you. You know, I don't, those things from like the past 2008, shit, dude, there's barely anybody that's on that football team that played in 2008 or coached on that team in 2008. That's Andy Reid shit, isn't it? I mean, right? Rivers has 20 kids. I'll tell you what, it's one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my entire life. A 44-year-old guy get off the bench and almost beat Seattle. In Seattle. He lost 18-16, I think it was. I thought Rivers was going to pull it off. I really did. Guy comes off the couch, and the dude, like, goes out and almost wins that football game for the struggling Colts offense, man. I thought he was going to do it. Yeah. Impressed? No. Glad to see you took care of business? Yes. Is it a morale win? Absolutely. What else? Was there anything that will carry over? Momentum? I think momentum's the thing. I'm a momentum guy. I believe in momentum. I do. Okay? I believe in momentum. So, yes. Other than that, offensively, I saw more Goddard. And I've seen that the last 2 weeks now. Seeing more Dallas Goedert being involved in the offense. I think that's by design. By the way, I really liked the run concept with Goddard. Those little flip tosses, I dug that. To get the run game going, sure, why not? Something else you have to game plan against if you're a D coordinator. They added a little twist to it. Good. It wasn't too dramatic. I thought Tank Bigsby was good. You know, one of the things I concern myself with him is holding on to the football. That's why the Jackson didn't just move off of him because they wanted to get rid of him. They moved off of him because he puts the ball on the carpet. So, all in all, I'd say this. Yeah, Sue. Goddard, I thought, really had a good game with the drop. You know, in a critical game and against a good football team, that drop could have cost you. But when you're playing the Raiders, who had only 76 yards in offense, that's not going to cost you. The Raiders didn't want to show up. But again, folks, I will always tell you this. Just because the Raiders didn't show up, that doesn't mean the Eagles have a pass not to show up either. And they showed up. You don't want to play? Well, we're going to put you to sleep. And they put him in a chokehold early. They did their job. Again, that's not an Eagle problem. That's a Mark Davis and a Pete Carroll and a Raider problem. That game was all more about the Raiders and where they are than where the Eagles are. Everyone knows the Eagles are that team. And if you don't want to show up and you don't have the talent, do you know what the Eagles did on Sunday? They exposed every single thing that's wrong with the Raiders. No quarterback, no O-line, no linebackers or secondary. They're limited at wide receiver. They may be limited at coach. They completely exposed and made the Raiders see what they're going to have to do in the upcoming free agency in the NFL draft. There were more holes on the Oakland Raiders / Las Vegas Raiders / LA Raiders. Put them all together. Whether you're in Oakland, LA, or Vegas. I've never seen the Raiders in that bad of shape. That's as bad a shape as I've ever seen the Raiders. I've never seen them that bad. I worked for them. I worked for the Oakland Raiders. I've never seen the Raiders that bad. And it was the Eagles that showed everyone how far away they are. Kudos. I used to sit with Al and go, that's not a Raider problem that team didn't show up. That's the other team's fault. So when people go like this, including me, well, it's the Raiders. Well, it's not really the Eagles' problems. Okay? I thought Crosby, he gave in a little bit towards the second half of the game. Raiders haven't been nothing since John Gruden left. I thought they were okay even with him. Gruden's best time was his first stint when they had Ken Herrick and they had that's when I worked with the Raiders. I was on the broadcast team for 2 years, and I would show up to personnel meetings with Bruce Allen and with Al, and I'd sit in on them. And we'd sit there and we'd talk. And I would listen because they were trying to bring me in as a part of the personnel department. Al wanted me to quit my broadcasting job. My wife, we typed it out. We typed my resume out, and Al said, do you want to do it? I said, let me hang in here a little more. And I was on the air at KMBR. I got offered a job to work for the Raiders in their personnel department. So NLQ plays zone, but what he does is ridiculous. Yeah, man. I mean, look, I'm not that. Well, wait, on the defensive side, I'll get to the defensive side in a minute, Stephen. Silz thinks he's 2 years out of college. I have no fucking idea what you're talking about. Probably some lame-ass comment. Silz, is there a disconnect between 20-year-olds and 74-year-old coaches? No, I think Pete Carroll knows what he's doing. I just think Pete Carroll came into a hornet's nest, and that organization is just a shit show right now. Mark Davis has been a shit show since he's really taken control of the team from his father. Silz, the 49ers are getting another third for Saleh when he goes to the Raiders. Robert Saleh go to the Raiders? Why would you want another defensive-minded guy? If I were the Raiders, I'd hire an offensive-minded guy. I'd get somebody in the building that's an offensive-minded dude. Silz, do you have inside intel on Jalen Carter? Spill the beans. How bad is his injury? I think it's more precautionary. Look, I told you, those plasma injections, he could have played this last weekend. The only way you're going to get those shoulders better, though, is rest. He didn't have a surgery. I mean, people out there are throwing that out there. He didn't have surgery. They're injections. It's like a cortisone for your shoulders. Plasma injections are to strengthen the joint. He's having troubles locking out. That's why you see him hitting his arm like this, because he can't lock out. You might have to put him in a vest if it continues. JC, not in a rush to come back. Why would he be? He's got a $180 million contract waiting for him. Why isn't there a better rotation with the running backs? Because they were banking on Barkley to carry most of the mail. McCaffrey had the injections, didn't recover until the following year. Absolutely. By the way, let me take a look at something here. I just want to do something here on Christian McCaffrey, on how good a season he's had this year. I just want to take a look on how good he's been, or maybe not been. Okay, so he's got 922. So he's going to get 1,000 yards rushing. Get this, folks. Christian McCaffrey's going to have more catches than any Eagle receiver this year. He's going to have 1,100 rushing yards, and he's going to have 1,000 receiving yards and 104 catches. That's the guy that's making the 49ers move. That's your first-team All-Pro running back in the NFC. It's Christian McCaffrey. This will be his third time in his career that he's gone over 1,000 receiving and 1,000 rushing. You can make the argument he's a Hall of Fame back. I mean, incredible. Knees different than shoulders. Yeah, I'd rather have my shoulders hurt than my knees. Absolutely, Kay. Gibbs will beat him out. Maybe. But, I mean, bro, Gibbs is not having a better year than McCaffrey. This guy's got 100 catches and 1,100 yards rushing and 1,000 receiving. Something A.J. Brown. He'll have better numbers than A.J. Brown this year. How's that for you? McCaffrey, the running back, will have better numbers than A.J. Brown. Where was he in that game, too? I've seen you all shit on Caleb Williams, and not y'all tune has changed about him. I think he's a liability in that Chicago offense. I think he shows signs of being great, signs of being bad, signs of being okay. He's not a very consistent player. Not at all. Sometimes he looks fantastic. Sometimes he looks terrible. Like in the Eagle game, he was terrible. I think so. Still, you have to prove to me. Here, my take on the Rams, I think they're the best team, but the Rams have to prove to me they can beat Philly. Okay? Christian McCaffrey had a year off. Barkley got worked and broken down. Well, McCaffrey's had a better career, though, dude. It's still attempting to communicate something. Caleb just did hit 500 win mark. Took 2 years. Not bad. Hey, I'll tell you what. Liam Cohn has done a spectacular job with Trevor Lawrence and with the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're 10-4 leading the North now. He's going to throw for 4,000 yards. That's not true. They fucked you up on defense. They have no defense, really. Hey, they shut you down on defense. Does Myles Garrett break the record? 3 games left. He got a sack this past weekend. He needs 2, I believe. He can make it. He can do it in any game. McCaffrey won't even win a Super Bowl. So what? What has that got to do with going to the Hall of Fame? Nothing. You don't have to win a Super Bowl, kid, to go to the Hall of Fame. I know. You think because you go to the Super Bowl, you're a Hall of Famer. You're not. McCaffrey will do what Saquon did last year. McCarty. I think you're thinking of McCaffrey. This count hates when the Eagles win. It's hilarious. I don't give a fuck if you win or lose. Get the wrong guy, Junior. I like your fan base a lot. And glazed donuts like you. I accept you. It's all good. Oh, wait. Yes, you do? Yeah, flexing. For 37 years, me broadcasting on the radio and doing this, I've never given a shit. I love the game of football. I'm a fan of football. Good teams, where teams need to go. I don't have a rooting interest. Yes, you do. Okay, I do. That's because you ever heard me rooting for a fucking football team. Like, whenever. Silz, going into week 16, who do you think's going to Santa Clara from the NFC and AFC? We'll do that in a little bit, I promise. By the way, guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like button. And as I said, I mean, was I impressed with the win? By the way, there's been 5 shutouts this year. The Raiders have 2 of them. There's been 5 shutouts in the NFL this year. And the Raiders have 2 of those. I'm not that impressed. I'm just not impressed. You do that to Buffalo, going up there and shut them out and hold them to 76 yards and hold Josh Allen to 76 yards. Now we're talking. Raiders? I knew you'd be here today. Saints took care of business twice against Carolina. How fucking crazy. Then again, though, Maniac, I'll say this to you. I don't think Carolina knows how to win yet. Because they got wins against Green Bay, Dallas, and the Rams. And they've got awful losses. I just don't think they really know who they are. The NFC South is the worst division in football. Okay? Yes. I think anybody in that NFC South is fool's gold. That would be impressive, shutting out the Bills. Yeah, you shut the Bills out. Okay? Right? When the Eagles lose, this guy gets super. Bro, we get super. Here, let me show you something. Guys, will you tell this fucking idiot here? We get super chats because people invest in the channel and invest in the only place that they can talk Eagle football without getting shut out. You couldn't go on WIP. Arguing with the host, you'd be banished. Here you get a chance to talk. You should relish that fact, dude. You couldn't get on a radio station in Philadelphia. It's the only place you get to make those fucking idiotic comments. Is that super chats? The people in here keep the channel going. And we're privileged to have them do it. That's why they send super chats. Not because the Eagles, if they lose or win, we get more or not. You got me and this show all wrong, guy. That's not what that is. You think people and I sit here and hope for more super chats because if I pay? No. I've never done that. People in here invest in our channel because it's the only place they can go. You got the wrong dude, man. I'm humbled when people send us super chats like Hollywood. Thank you. Hey, I may not agree. I may call him a dick. He may call me a dick. But that's not whatever. Investing $2 at a time. Hey, Johnny, $2, $20, $5. It's all humbling to us. Price, there's no price on support. Man, wrong dude. You don't know me from a can of paint, guy. Thank you, President Trump, for attending the Army-Navy game. Don't know why Biden could never attend, but glad to see him at the Eagles game. God bless USA. Hey, man, that's right. I saw President Biden at the Eagle game, and I saw President Trump at Army-Navy. Awesome. Anytime you get a chance to see the Commander-in-Chief at any sporting event, it's always awesome. That we are in agreement. Okay? Okay? We are all assholes. Let's just talk sports. Of course, man. That's what we're here for. So, well, listen. I haven't even got to the topic page yet. Takeaways. Offense. Here, let me go over to the numbers. Let's see here. Hey, man. Thank you, Marsh. We give super chats because we can dip. And we like the show because we have a voice. What up, Silz? What up, Xander? See this guy, Marsh? This is one of my favorite guys. Not because he donates, because he's got fucking a great opinion. Like 95% of you. Okay? Great opinions. Thank you, Marsh. Then Marsh will turn around and go, hey, Silz, that was a pretty good win. Hey, did you see Tanner? Sorry. Wait a second. I think I got Tourette's here. Tanner McKee. Sorry. I did it again. Did you see the throw in Samoan? Oh, wait. No. The Mormon missile. That's it. Did you see? Oh, I'm sorry. I got like Tourette's here. Hold on, man. Did you see the Mormon missile? Hell, man. Then they had to shut him down because he was throwing on time. He had a couple timing passes. I'm like, uh-oh, you better shut that down. And as soon as that happened, they shut that guy down. Sorry, I had to bring it up. I just, So let's take a look. The Raiders had 7 first. All right, I want to read you the Raider numbers. The Eagles were 10 of 13 on third down. Boy, the Raiders suck. The Raiders had 42 plays. They had 7 first downs. They had 75 yards of total offense. They averaged 1.8 yard per play. I mean, hold on. It gets even, I think, worse. Did they have 29 yards passing? They had 46. They had 46. Okay? They had 46 rushing yards. They had 3 penalties, turnover. And how much they had? They had the ball for 20 minutes. So wait a minute. The Eagles had the football for 40 minutes. I've never seen a football game get over that quick. Hey, Xander, can I get that walkie? He put one up here, man, a super chat here. Went to my 12th Army Navy game this past weekend. If you've never gone, it's all about pride and heart. And this year was a tremendous, it was tremendous. I saw the game too, right to the very end. It was a fabulous game. I've been to 7 of them, Army-Navy games. I've been to like 7. When I used to go back and forth between Philly and Baltimore. Okay? Xander, I missed the blue one because I saw somebody throw that up there. Backups against the Raiders starters, so embarrassing. By the way, Mikey, I think the Eagles' second team could have beat that Raider team. That's how bad the Raiders were. But then again, I said it. That's not an Eagle problem. That's a Raider problem. So here, let me finish up here. I wasn't really that impressed. I was like, I'll say this. I think the defense was impressive. Okay? Because defense, you got to go out there and have an attitude. And you got to put people on the ground. You got to be effective. And I thought they really shut that team down. So I was kind of more impressed probably with the defense than I was with the offense. So, I mean, individually, Jalen Hurts' play, I mean, folks, what do you want me to say? Honestly, how was Hurts in the ball game? I think he was okay. He completed 12 passes. He had 3 touchdowns. He ran the ball for 40 yards in the game, 7 carries, 39 yards. I thought that was an important number. Goddard had 6 catches for 70 yards. And, Goddard had 7 targets in the ball game. You're seeing more of that. So, and I mean, Jalen Hurts probably pissed off at all of you in the media wearing that Yankee hat after the game. That was a shot at both the media and also the fans who wanted to see him benched. Nothing's changed. He's still Jalen Hurts 2025. That game doesn't turn his game around. That game doesn't change anybody's. It's a false positive. I wouldn't get anywhere near where the offense. You guys didn't you learn from New York? I mean, didn't you learn? You guys were all raving about the New York game, the second New York game. All of a sudden, he went into back when he played against a good defense, played like shit. And as I said, over the last 10 games, you're 5-5. I don't know what else to say. Like, how many winning teams have you beaten in the last 10 ball games? Let's take a look at this. And you tell me where you think you are right now. Okay? And you know what you hear? I heard Johnny Mack and Zaner saying this. We only got to play who's in front of you. Well, that doesn't mean that if you have a tomato can, 5 tomato cans in front of you, that your football team's a good team just because they're in front of you. I mean, that's like telling me this. Well, if I play in the NFC West and I'm playing against all those good teams, the 49ers, the Seahawks, and the Rams, and I'm playing those 3 teams, you're trying to tell me you really think the NFC East sets you up for the playoffs compared to the West when you got better teams in the West? Well, how do you make sense of that? I mean, right? Certain teams are going to play tougher schedules. Here. So since October 5th, and if I'm not mistaken, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. That's excluding Liars Month. Since September, okay, which is Liars Month. That's how I look at a season. First month of the season is Liars Month, okay? Here's what the Eagles are since October 5th. Denver, number 1 team in football right now. You lost. So let's take a look at that. You lost. That's a winning team. You lost to the Giants. It's a losing team. You beat Green Bay, which is a good win. That's a winning team. You beat Detroit, which is a winning team. You lost to Dallas, which is a losing team. You've lost to the Chargers, which is a winning team. You lost to Chicago, which is a winning team. You beat, let's see, we got Detroit, Chicago, and you beat the Raiders. So actually, let me take a look at that. Since October 5th, Minnesota, you won. That's a losing team. Minnesota. And you got a New York win. New York Giants. Losing team. Hey, wait a minute. I don't know if Minnesota still got a losing record. So let's see how many winning teams you've beaten in the last 10 ball games. Okay? 1. Let's see. 1, 2. You've beaten 2 teams in the last 10 games that have a winning record. Double check here. Since October 5th. 1, 2. Yeah. You've beaten 2 teams with a winning record. And you've lost, and the rest of them are all under 500, and you're 5-5. What do you want me to say? That you're good? Is that what you want? I mean, we could use those picks. He downplays everything the Eagles do. No, I'm telling you what you've done. Downplays? Well, what do you want to upplay? Again, since October 5th, first game out of September, you guys are 5-5. I mean, and the only winning teams you've beaten have been Green Bay and Detroit. Where, I don't really fear I hear this. I don't really fear anybody in the NFC. Well, nobody fears you. I mean, you really haven't played any winning football teams. Silz, I want you to say congratulations. You beat 8 shitty teams in the last 10 weeks. Okay, congratulations. You've beaten 8 shitty teams in the last 10 weeks. Okay. That's true, though. That's not a lie. Silz praises the Patriots beating every shitty team on their schedule. I don't believe in the Patriots. And I don't believe in Denver. Wait, I'll take that back. I might believe in Denver because Denver beat you. I don't buy the Patriots. Who said I bought the Patriots? That's like when you guys were talking about the Packers. I've never bought the Packers, and now they lost Parsons. Packers aren't going anywhere. Since when did you ever hear me say I bought the Patriots? I'm not sold on them. Why? Because they're playing the last. Hey, John McMullen's wrong. You play a last place schedule, you're a product of your. The 49ers are a project of their schedule. They're not a product of their great play. Hey, you think there's any reason when you have a bad year they give you a shitty schedule? And those teams turn around the following year? Come on, man. How are you not a product of bad teams you line up? What Tanner's value in the trade sales? I heard that the Saints offered a third rounder for him. It's going to be very interesting to see. I wasn't sold on Dallas. I said Dallas had to run the table, and we didn't really think they were going to run the table. Hey, Dallas' Super Bowl was you guys because they really haven't played better football since. They put everything into that game. I thought Dallas had turned the corner with those trades. Hey, by the way, Dallas got better. I never said in any way whatsoever that Dallas Cowboys were going to make a play in the playoffs and they were going to go to the Super Bowl or go to an NFC championship game. I thought they had a shot to make the playoffs, especially coming off of beating you after you surrendered 21 points. Dallas beat the Chiefs after us. Well, does that look like that impressive of a win now? Since the Super Bowl, the Chiefs are like 6-10. 6-9. How come Howie doesn't showcase the Mormon missile to raise up his value to a first rounder? Because, my friend, there's contract incentives in Jalen's contract. He plays 75% of the plays. He probably gets a bonus of $500,000. If he plays in a amount of games, he has something built in there. There's probably more incentives. You got to remember something. That's why when he was taken out at the beginning of the fourth quarter, that was kind of fishy because players have all contract incentives. Now, when you have a $50 million contract, I'm sure those incentives are a little bit lighter compared to a defensive tackle or an offensive tackle. So that makes me question the ankle a little bit. Him heading into this Commander game. Okay? So you might want to keep an eye on that. I thought that was usually you take the guy out probably in midway through. And, so just keep an eye on that. Because players have a lot of contract incentives in there. When do the Eagles consider arresting Dickerson and Cam? Well, I would say after this week, a lot of decisions will be made. Because Thursday night, if I'm not mistaken, is it not Rams in Seattle? Is it Rams in Seattle on Thursday? So the winner of that game will they'll be up 2 games on you if I'm not mistaken. With 2 to go, which would mean the Rams have to lose their 2 games because tiebreaker plays no factor here. So with 2 to go, the Rams would have to lose 2. If they lose that Seattle game now if Seattle wins, the chances of if Seattle wins on Thursday night, your chances of hosting the NFC title game in the opening round of the playoffs, Seattle could get beat in the playoffs. This is what I would hope. If I were the Eagles, I would want Seattle to win and give them the bye. Because to me, at the end of the day, okay, Seattle in the playoffs with Sam Darnold, I don't buy that. I buy Matthew Stafford. Make the Rams have to go a longer way for them to win the NFC playoffs. You want Seattle to win that game Thursday night. You don't want the Rams getting home field because the Rams, if they get home field, they're going to the NFC Championship game. So hope for Seattle to win on Thursday night, okay? That's what I would hope. Thank you, Steve. Silz, you glazing Mark Holmes. Now who's eating the cream cheese and crackers? How you doing? Yeah. Hey, Dak Prescott had to win that game. They had to win that game. And this is what we talk about. The Eagles took care of business. They beat the Raiders. Okay? They took care of business. The Cowboys couldn't. You don't get backslaps for that. You don't. What Jalen haters? They're still here. I'm not a hater. Hey, dude. Jalen Hurts, there's no difference on him after that Raider game. How many people's opinions have changed on, get this, how many people's opinions have changed on Jalen Hurts after the Raider game? Let's see here. Eagles have another home stadium called SoFi. Yes, they do. Not at all. Not me. Yeah, so get this. Jalen Hurts and the Eagles have beaten 2 winning teams in the last 10 ball games. And Jalen Hurts has had his best games against the Giants and Raiders. All you need to know. My opinion only will change in the playoffs. That's a good take, too. Hurts was throwing dimes. Hurts never throws dimes. He's beaten 2 winning teams in 10 games. And he's throwing dimes? Vikings are a non-winning team. You've beaten 2 teams in the last 3 months with winning records. And he completed 12 passes. He's throwing dimes. Oh, my God. I knew they'd be out. Hurts was throwing nickels. That's not true, Silz. He does occasionally. Okay. All right. He does occasionally. All right. Blaine was a waste of money. We always said that. It's cornerbacks, man. Vikings, what? Vikings, what? No. I don't give a fuck what they were. What are they today? That's who you are now. You're only as good as your record today, guy. This guy goes like this. Well, the Vikings were 5-4 then. What are you now? Hey, wait a minute. They may have a winning record. Let me see here. Vikings standings. They may be 500. Vikings. Now they're 6-8. My opinion will change when Jalen gets the ball out on time and starts winning with his arm. And I would say, and his legs. which 5 years ain't likely to happen. And it's 6 years in the league, too. They're 6-8. Ooh, but they were 5-4. Jailenites unite. Stat over win, Silz. Stats? Talking about wins, dickhead. How many people's opinions change about Jalen even after the Super Bowl? No matter what he does, y'all always shit on him. No, I told you. He's got one of the best resumes in pro football. Can never take that away from him. He's by far one of the most accomplished players in the league. He'll always be in the top 5 when it comes to accomplishments. That's not and hasn't changed. And I've been very clear on that. As a skill set, I've never wavered on that either. So you guys, get this, folks. The Raider game is a false positive for guys like M. Reyes. So he can tell you how good he is. He's not that good. Nothing's changed. Did they need that win like Xander said? Of course they did. And the Raiders were perfect. They're a perfect tonic for that. Silz, how are you not impressed with 15 elite passes on the Raiders' formidable defense? We are back. Also, Tanner Manning is 0% in the red zone. Trash. With his 3 great passes. I know. You thought Pete Carroll was going to coach his way. No, I did not say that. Once again, a fucking lie. I said Pete Carroll could be a problem. But they're just not good enough football, and the players didn't show up. Pete Carroll's going to the Hall of Fame. One of 3 coaches, to win at both levels in football, college and the NFL level. He's going to Canton. Silz, with a few games left, we will see more design runs from Hurts. I don't think so. I think that injury that he sustained in that Raider game will be something that they will have to take a look at how they're going to approach the rest of the season. The defense is getting better based on what? The Raiders? How do you know that when you haven't really played any good football teams in the last 3 months? Listen, Detroit, Green Bay was a great effort. Give me another effort in the last 2.5 months. Here. Did you have a great effort against the Raiders? Or the Chargers? Not too bad. Chicago, you didn't. Dallas, you didn't. You surrendered 21 points. Detroit, yes. Green Bay, yes. New York, second time, yes. Minnesota, yes. New York, terrible. Denver, terrible. I mean, you've beaten 2 teams, let's see, since October 5th with winning records. Okay? Let's see. 31-0. Defense wins championships. Bro. Yeah, I mean, great. If you think the Raider game, that's how you see that, you're a glazed donut. Raiders, so sad. I was a huge Raider fan in the 70s with Kent Stabler and Madden. It's really sad to see where the Raiders are now. And the Eagles expose every single hole they have. Quarterback, O-line, D-line, D-tackle, linebacker, safeties, corner, everywhere. They're bad at every level. Bad at every level. Again, that's not an Eagle problem. I bet this is torture for you, Silz. No, it's not. I didn't learn anything about your Eagle team. Torture? No. Why is it torture? I learned nothing. How could you have? Okay. What did you learn about your Eagle team off that game on Sunday? Dak is having a great year. I don't have a team. What did What did you learn? Wanted to cry? Why? Because you beat the shitty Raiders? We learned we're back. Great 6-7 in 1 year. They got better. That's all I said about the Cowboys. I'd stop worrying about Dallas. I learned Kenny Pickett still stinks, okay? Silz is a Cowboy fan. No, Silz played for the Cowboys. Still blowtorch defense? Based off the Raider game? Bro, you're 25th in defense. And you've beaten 2 winning teams and 10 games. What the fuck are you talking about? You're 25th. What are you talking about? Learn it's the championship level. Admit it. They're not championship level. Off the Raider game? We learn Hurts can play at an MVP level against the Raiders. Against winning teams, he can't. Y'all new Dusty Grays are hilarious and ignorant. Can only play who's in front of you. I love that line. That doesn't mean you're good. So if you got shitty teams in front of you, because the league put shitty teams in front of you, that means you got a shitty schedule. And these next 3 games are shitty teams. You can only play who's in front of you. That doesn't tell me anything about who you are. No shit, you can only play who's in front of you. That doesn't change the narrative. How fucking dumb. This was awesome. Brandon Graham getting 2 sacks. That was great. I love that. I was saying how the Jalenites are out in force. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Fool's gold. False positives everywhere right now. There is no doubt. I don't have a narrative. I'm speaking facts. You've beat 2 winning teams in 10 games. The fuck are you talking about, Junior? So what will change the narrative, Silz? I want to see the Buffalo game and probably the opening round of the playoffs. You'll be a wild card. You're going to be a wild card team. You're not winning home field. Especially if Seattle wins on, because Seattle, again, then it'll come down to divisional wins, and it'll come down to the fact that the NFC West is stronger than the East. And as of right now, if I'm not mistaken, I think you have the same record as Dallas Cowboys, or the Cowboys may even still have a better record in division than you. Let's get the 2 seed. That'd be good. I think the regular season doesn't tell us much. It tells you how you're playing, especially in December. Chiefs, for instance, tell us how dominant they were. Harder schedule each year, and we'll make it and still make it. Any can make the playoffs with a light schedule. Yeah, like the 49ers. Like, I'm not buying the 49ers. Here, you look at the playoffs. I'll tell you flat out. Rams, I'm buying. Bears, I'm not. Eagles have been there. Bucks, I'm not. Seahawks, I don't know. The Arnold factor. 49ers, I'm not. Packers without Parsons, I doubt it. Broncos, I am, because they beat you and they got the best record in football. Patriots, I'm not. Jags, I'm not. Steelers, I'm not. Chargers are a funny team. They got a really good defense, and they got a quarterback that can win ball games. Bills, I don't think they have enough. The Texans are interesting. The Texans have the best defense in football next to the Broncos. The quarterback, though, comes down to Stroud. Okay, I don't know. I think it's wide open for anybody to win, which makes it so that the more experienced team of the Philadelphia Eagles. Do I think the Eagles can win the Super Bowl? Yes. Do I think the Eagles can get knocked out in the opening round? Yes. Nothing going to change my mind till I see consistency. Amen. I agree with you. I agree with everything you're saying. It was the Raiders, but damn, Silz, let me enjoy not being pissed off after a game for once. Fair enough. Fair enough. Hey, if you're gonna like be happy about something, be happy that they're not a team that goes up and down to competition. And dude, that's a thing. Look at the Cowboys. Cowboys are fluctuating up and down because they're not a good football team. I wonder how many loads pumped shot out yesterday during the fourth quarter when McKee. I can't believe I just Ron Burgundy did this and I read it. Oh, man. You see Tanner in there, baby? The Mormon Missile. Thanks, Maniac. You know I'll read it. Oy vey. Good grief. You see that missile? That Mormon Missile, man? He was throwing on time. I couldn't freaking believe it. What a stud. Not even I could believe that. Hey, I'm going to try to sell it to you. Man, the Mormon Missile. Did you see those 3 passes? Those 3 completions? Holy shit. Best passes of the year. I can't even sell that. Hey, and I can sell anything, but I can't sell that. Man, we need to bench Hurts. I couldn't believe Merrill Reese, who I love the most. Don't tell me to bench Jalen Hurts. How's that for you? I'm like, my God, it's the Raiders, Merrill. Don't say shit come playoff time. It's put up or shut up. Bang! K. Smith, great take. Silz, we did at least play our brand of. Yes. Keep Jalen in his wheelhouse. That's right. Yeah. That's fair. You played your brand of football. Why? His opinion hasn't changed. Abe, my scalp muscles hurt from laughing. The Mormon Missile. Holy shit, did you see those 3 passes? Damn. I got to come up with a better way of selling the Mormon Missile. Hey, maybe with the injury to the ankle. Commanders, maybe Tanner gets a start. Holy shit. Can you imagine if they started Tanner McKee because they wanted to rest Hurts and he throws for 428 yards against the Commanders? Everybody would be going, holy shit, look at the offense. Oh, my God. So it's the 2 games that the team looked terrible, other than the 4 turnover game against the LA Chargers, was on a short week. No excuses. Against the Giants and Bears, do you think the coaches didn't have them prepared? Well, I'll tell you what, they learned something in that Cowboy game, too. Remember when they said they have those 5 fronts? Bears did the same shit to them? Dude, I don't really think you had to be a great coach to beat that Raider team on Sunday. Hey, and once again, that's not an Eagle issue. So I still can't believe that we have Bone and Dean at linebacker. Dude, Jacoby Dean had a really good game. Okay? They had like 40 yards rushing in that game. Again, though, and I want to be careful on the defensive side of the football. I'm more impressed with the defensive output than I am with the offense. I'm not impressed at all with the offense. I'm just not. Defense now, I'm always going to be partial to that side of the football, but yeah, I was more impressed with them on that side of the ball. If I were every Philadelphia Eagle fan, I would be praying for this. Please let Nakobe Dean make these next 3 games and not get hurt. How many games has he missed this year? Bond had an INT. Zach Bond's followed up a Pro Bowl season. Zach Bond is going to. Okay, wait a minute here. Okay, extend Nakobe Dean. Let's see something here. Senor, was it 4 games? Okay. 4 games? Was it? Okay. So, 4 games this year. Last year, it was 2 games plus 3 games, which was 5 because of the playoffs. Year before that was 12 games. Year before that, he was eligible to play. In 17 ball games, he didn't miss a game. So, in the last 3 years, Nakobe Dean has missed 21 ball games. You're re-signing that? Zach Bond is quietly having yes, he is, an all-pro season. Nakobe Dean's missed 21 ball games in the last 3 years. 21 games. How you feel about that? Was it 5? Okay. 22 games. He's missed in the last 3 years. How you feel about that? 22 games. $22 games. I mean, no one's saying he's not a good player. Says, I think we are offloading a lot of key contracts. How he's going to pull some shit so we keep Dean within reach of money. Your shock jock career is almost ready at WIP. I think you have me confused with somebody. There's nobody at WIP that's in my wheelhouse. Nobody. I've never heard of any of them guys. You've got me mistaken. I'm ready for WIP? Are you fucking crazy? Ready for WIP? Me. You must be talking about Bill Cunnilingus over at 97.5. You got the wrong guy. Dean is a great blitzer. He really has become that. He has. Oh, that's a good one. Let me take a look at something here. This goes to your boy, A.J. Brown. Hey, guys, I do want to make sure that I do say this to you. You took care of business. That's the most important thing you can have out of this game. Raiders didn't want to play. That's not your problem. They didn't want to show up. Fuck them. Kill them. You did. You don't want to play? I'm going to push your face in. They did. Eagles played their brand of ball. They kicked the shit out of them. Next team up. That's not an Eagle problem. Here goes to the next topic here. A.J. Brown had 2 targets, 2 catches for 41 yards. Now, he did have that pass interference at the beginning of the ball game. That was a significant spot foul. Are they phasing him out of the offense? Let's take a look at this for a second. By the way, please hit the like button, guys. Are they phasing A.J. Brown out of the offense? Goddard at 7 targets. Let me take a look at this. Let's go to week 14. And I want to see this here. Who was targeted the most in that game? Goddard had 7 targets in that game. So in back-to-back weeks, actually, excuse me, let me go back here. Week 14. Okay. Week 14. Let's go back to where the Eagles. Here we go. Eagles. Box score. AJ had 13 targets. Goddard had 10. So in the last 2 weeks, Dallas Goedert's had 17 targets. 17 targets in the last 2 weeks. I thought it was, I mentioned it on the postgame. We kind of glazed over it. That's the most volume that he's had thrown to him all year in any 2-game stretch. 18 targets. You think they're phasing AJ out? He had 2 in this game against the Raiders. Now, again, there were some significant penalties that could have helped that target total. But, again, they got penalties. The Raiders had a couple penalties, and I think the Raiders had 3 penalties in the game. I think 2 of them were the AJ. Okay? Why would I phase out a guy who gave me a hometown discount? One guy makes, 36. Here's the difference. I get it, but I'm not phasing a guy that's young and doesn't make a shitload of money. I thought AJ was the number 1 receiver on your team. No one's ever said Devontae Smith was. No one ever really said that Dallas Goedert was the number 2 target. Right? I've just noticed it the last 2 weeks. Dude, 10 and another 17 targets the last 2 weeks for Dallas Goedert, which is such a higher volume. Silz, is this Lane's last season? You would think so. I think they are grooming D. Cooper. No way. They'll go in the draft. Silz, I think the Eagles will be in the market for an edge rusher in the offseason yet again. I would love to add Crosby instead of Garrett. Garrett is going to be a big, rich Crosby, would fit into this city quite well. Raiders aren't going to move him. I don't believe. He just signed a contract extension, and I don't believe the Raiders would move him. And for the record, I'm not giving up the equity that Crosby would cost. They would want ones and shit. I'll keep the guys I got. I'm winning football games and shutting you out. You got Max Crosby. I don't. Why would I want Max Crosby? He made no difference on the Raiders. Why would I want Crosby? 2 years in a row, you don't have really a prolific edge rusher. And yet, I think the numbers are a little misleading on defense. I do. So I thought that all year, but I think it's been Hurts phasing him out. Okay. Well, it's Jalen's offense. And he's throwing the ball the last 2 weeks more to Goddard. Eagles win another Super Bowl. Lane retires. I think Lane retires anyway. Either way. AJ will be an Eagle next year. How he's not stupid. No way. No way. We're going to extend Goddard again if AJ's traded. I'll tell you what. If Dallas Goedert and this continues and you see another 10 targets or 7, 8, 9, 10 targets in this upcoming Commander game, something's up. They're not going to move off of Dallas Goedert if you're targeting. Bro, last 2 weeks, he's been a top target for any pass catcher. This guy's had 18 targets. Since when has that number been up? For what? Silz, you're going to sell McKee? James is, wait, here. Am I going to sell McKee? Forget the Mormon missile. We got the Jehovah's Witness whistle. Magic underpants not included. Thank you. Yeah, you're going to have to make a determination. King, you're going to have to decide whether or not you're going to extend him in the offseason. And you're going to offer him a contract. If I'm Tanner's agent, I'm like this. No way am I staying here. Why would I stay behind Jalen Hurts? I'm a better passer than him. Why should the better passer stay behind a guy who's a limited passer? Silz, I would love to see more under center. PA and Goddard leak out underneath like yesterday. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I liked the run concepts that I saw. Silz, how about your boy Dak Prescott? Now, one TD pass against the mighty Vikings. Okay? I saw you against the Chargers, and Jalen Hurts had 5 turnovers and no touchdowns. And the Vikings supposedly had a good secondary too, right? Well, he didn't have anything against the Chargers. Chargers are better? And their secondary? Probably. McKee and AJ to the Saints will tear the league up. What are you getting in return? If I'm sending A.J. Brown and Tanner McKee to the Saints, I want a 1 and I want some 2s and 3s. A lot of things went right for the Birds yesterday, Silz. Parsons done is a huge deal. By the way, did that come down officially that he tore his ACL? I said in the beginning of the year, Rams, Eagles, NFC title game. I still stick by it. Yeah, could be. Has that come down yet? It has. Whew. Boy, if you're Brian Gutekunst, you just gave a guy $180 million, $41 annually. Oh, wow, does that hurt? Because ACL, that guy may not be ready until October of next year, depending on the severity of it. I mean, I saw Dr. Chow tweet out on X. Yeah, unless my files are wrong, that's not good. Sounds like we are back. These Jalenites are comedians. What a candy ass. I'm with you, dog. I'm not impressed. I'm impressed with the defense. Defense continues. I'm impressed with Vic. Absolutely. Jalen Hurts is going to be back-to-back NFC East champions. Can Dak say that? No. Pump, huh? There you go again with that, man. My ass. When you lose to Patrick Mahomes and a Micah, the NFL is worse. Yes, it is. Holy cow. Hold on for a minute. Got to towel off. All the Jalen hold on. I gotta towel off. Woof. Do you know how hard everybody is trying to fucking take away from that fucking Raider game? Whew. Hold on here. Oh, here I gotta do an M Maniac, New Jersey Maniac. Hold on, look. Let's see here, make sure I'm all cleaned up here before I bring Big Z in, because I'm sure this is gonna be interesting. Because I know he took away a lot. I know he did, man. Everybody was texting me going, let's see. Oh my God, I haven't even checked my X account. Oh, yeah, there they are. Oh, full go. You son of a You son of a this. You son of a that. How come you're not giving us credit for beating the shitty Raiders? All right. Without further ado, please hit the like button. Super chats will be right at the end. My man, Big Z, who was trying to find all the good in yesterday. Without further ado, my boy, Big Z, Xander Krause joins us now.
What's up, Big Silz?
Eagles are back, right, man?
Well, they did what they needed to do yesterday. It's good to get back in the win column. It's good to see Jalen Hurts make the throws you needed to make. It's good to see the defense have another good game. And, now they got 3 weeks left. And I think the biggest positive of yesterday actually has nothing to do with the Eagles game or the game that they played or their team. The Packers got weaker. The Rams got weaker because I don't know who saw that Devontae Adams injury. I know a lot of times you see hamstring and you think, they'll be back soon. I don't know. He's an older dude, and that he could barely walk on that thing. And that's the same injury to the hamstring he's been dealing with. So let's see what happens with Devontae Adams. And I don't see a team right now, Silz, that you said it earlier. You're like, well, nobody fears you either. But that's kind of the point. Like, there's I get it, but we're in that group of we're in there. And on any given Sunday,
I think your experience carries the day.
You can win. So I'm happy about the win. I get where you're coming from, but I think it's a good win.
The only thing that I would say about that injury talk that you said, who's going to say that Lane's back going to be completely healthy? Who's going to say that Jalen Carter's going to be back and they're going to be formidable like they were? That's assuming a lot.
Yeah,
late in the year. I mean, 35, 36-year-old offensive lineman who's coming off of this rank too. How do you know they're going to be healthy?
Well, again, that's fair, but let's see what happens. I mean, I'm looking around the league. I'm looking at where we are right now, and Lane, I'm assuming will be back. He's supposed to be practicing this week, as Key said on this postgame show. Lane's a massive addition, and Carter. I don't know about Carter, but overall, I feel like this team is still in a good spot, man. Like I get it that nobody wants to get excited about winning over the Raiders, but you can only win who's in front of you, and the alternative would have been to beat the Raiders barely or to lose to the Raiders. Like, we blew them the fuck out. We're a different caliber of football team than them. That's a good thing to see. As far as Jalen, I was happy to see him make some throws. I was happy to see him run the ball, but I actually left the game with a little bit of more concern because we've all been calling for him to run the ball more, and he did that. And then he leaves the game. I don't know if he left the game because of the ankle. John was speculating. I think that was more just they were blowing the team out. I mean, everybody went to the bench, and he leaves the game with a tweaked ankle. In this Pam Oliver interview after the game, he did allude that it was there when she asked him about it. We'll see about it this week, he said, basically. So I not fear, but you wonder what that will do to the psyche of Hurts in terms of he didn't want to run already because he didn't want to get hurt. Now he runs the ball 7 carries for 39 yards and he gets dinged up again. I don't know. Does he not run anymore? But we will see. And it was good to see everybody answer, though, yesterday.
Are you sure Jalen Carter's going to play again this year?
I can't say I'm sure, no. I'm assuming he will, but I cannot be sure on that. Absolutely not. I think a lot of that's very agent-driven, Silz.
You bet it is, and that's why I brought it up.
Yeah.
If Drew Rosenhaus thinks that guy's got issues, he ain't going to play the rest of the year.
Yeah.
He's got a $180 million contract negotiations. March 17th it'll begin. I mean, bro, making the playoffs or $180 million, $32, $33, $34 million a year. You're in a different conversation right now.
True.
The business of football, dude.
By the way, speaking of business of football, another reason I come into this segment optimistic today. So a massive change has just been altered for 2 of the final 3 games for the Eagles. The Commanders have decided to sit Jaden Daniels for the rest of the season.
Okay.
So you're not going to see him at all. Now, I didn't think they were going to see him this week anyway, but now there's no chance he even returns. So you got Marcus Mariota twice. I mean, can you beat Marcus Mariota twice? I'm not asking you to cure cancer. Beat Marcus Mariota twice, and this team will control the rest of their destiny.
Destiny being what? Like for
Whatever
the playoffs.
that is to them. I mean, if they play their best football, or they can turn it on, or they can, rise to the occasion in the playoffs like we've seen them do in the past, they're going to be great. I mean, again, but where I'm with you is that nothing changed. Like, we already knew this about Jalen Hurts. We already knew this about the offense. We knew this about this football team. They're a team that needs a lot. Jalen is not the type of quarterback that's just going to, lift you up from the ashes to victory. That's not the style there. But he will make the plays when everybody else around him is playing well. And he did make those plays yesterday. Now you got 3 games left. But the Buffalo game is going to be a tough one. Remember, they're fighting for the East now because the Patriots lost.
I still think that's done.
Bro, they're 1 game back.
With 3 to play.
1 game back with 3 to play, and you think it's done?
They're 1 game back.
They have the Ravens, the Jets, and the Dolphins, the Patriots.
Those are 4. Yeah, they are 1 back.
Man, they're 1 back. And the Patriots I just mentioned, they have the Ravens this weekend. Then they have the Jets and the Dolphins. So they're probably going to finish up
2-1.
Probably 3-0, but could go 2-1. So the Bills will be wanting to win out to at least control their destiny or get the highest seed possible, the 5th seed.
The 5th seed.
And the Bills have the Browns, the Eagles, and the Jets. So they're going to win 2 of those games easy money.
Correct. This is what.
Be careful too. If the Patriots lose this weekend versus the Ravens, then the Bills are really going to want that Eagle game. Yeah,
tiebreakers, right? Because then they'll go to best record.
Yeah, but I don't know who has the tiebreak on those 2 because
that's what I said. It would go because they would split because Buffalo just beat them there. It would go first divisional, then it would go conference. First it goes best record, then it goes divisional, then it goes conference.
See, there you go. There's Shooter. He's a Patriots fan. Pats clinch if they beat Miami and the Jets. So that means they would have the tiebreaker. I'm assuming Shooter has good information. I think Shooter wouldn't lie to us.
Here's what would happen also, what has to happen. If I were the Eagles, I would be praying that Seattle wins that game Thursday night. Because Seattle.
Absolutely. That's a no-brainer. You want Seattle to get the 1st seed.
You want them to get the 1st seed. And you are, again, that means the Rams would go all the way down. Am I right? They would go down to the 5th seed because they would be 11-4.
Right.
Okay. So they're probably going to get down there. And that means that you would be able to still fight out for that 2nd hole spot, depending on what Chicago does. Because to me, Seattle having to bye, that means that if you win and you face them, I don't fear Seattle with Sam Darnold. Yeah. Seattle, I think Seattle's not Seattle. They may get to the NFC. They may get to the NFC Championship game. They may. I don't know. Sam Darnold's won a shitload of games, but you don't want I don't think you want the Rams having home field.
I'm with you on that. Apparently, people in the chat do not agree. They want to go to Seattle, but my agreement with you is I don't even think Seattle will make it to the championship game. I really don't. I don't think. I think to me they're a great defense, but I don't see Darnold winning significant playoff games. I just don't. I don't know why.
That wide receiver they have, though, man. I mean,
who, Jackson?
Yeah, he is. He is a special football player. You know what I'm saying? He's a special guy here. Guys, do me a favor. Hit the like button. Xander, I want to throw this at you here. Do you think they're phasing A.J. Brown out of the offense?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that.
You know, 18 targets the last 2 games to Dallas Goedert, and there were 2 in this ball game here. Now, he did have quite a bit.
AJ was the leading receiver the last 3 games.
What's that?
AJ was the leading receiver the last 3 games before yesterday.
I'm saying to you in the postgame show, and I said it, and I looked at it. I don't know, man. There seems to be a little more of a direction to try to get the ball to Dallas Goedert the last 2 weeks.
Well, I think that's definitely true. I mean, and they obviously like Goddard in the red zone. I mean, you know, that's the other thing too. I mean, like, Joe had 3. What do you have? 3 touchdown passes. Yes, they should have had 4. Bad Goddard drop, by the way. Awful drop. Nice play by Hurts on there. But 2 of the touchdown passes were like behind the line of scrimmage, basically. There was the shuffle pass in front of him and then the shuffle pass to the side of him. So, you know, I mean, it is what it is, guys. He only had to throw the ball 15 times yesterday. Not really one of those games, but I don't think they're phasing AJ out now. I don't. I really don't. I mean, I don't see it. I don't see any evidence of it. I don't. In fact, maybe you could make an argument they've been ramping them up too much to their own detriment.
Were you impressed with yesterday's win?
Impressed? No. Happy that they handled business? Yes. Excited that they handled business. I mean, this is a team that's been flailing, and I think the only really thing that we all know about this team is they're consistently inconsistent,
Yeah.
and they need to get some consistency, and they have a perfect opportunity now to do that going into the playoffs. Even if you're playing shitty teams, get your own psyche right. Get your own psyche that you're a consistent team. Dominate the Commanders.
Morale.
Those are going to be a battle, but it's good to have a battle here late in the year, I think, and then beat the Commanders again, and you're in a good spot going into the playoffs. I mean, Hurts went from last week having his worst game maybe in his pro career, to having a 150 rating. I understand people are excited about the 150 rating. I'm not excited about the level of inconsistency there. So he's got to find a little bit more of a middle ground to me. And if he does that, the defense looks good. Special teams was better yesterday. Maybe Charlie Hewlett does make a difference for the kicker. I don't know or not. Does Jalen even have to play like an MVP? Does he have to play that good for this team to win? Maybe not. Play a middle of the pack offense. Can they get to that point? I think then they'll be in good shape.
In the last outside of Liars Month since October 5th, you guys are 5-5, and you've played and won and beaten 2 winning teams. What do you make of that?
Yeah, that's trouble. I mean, that would show you that they're not that good of a squad right now. But I do think right now they do have the players that you need, to get going. They do have the pedigree to get going. And that's why I tweeted it out last night. The Eagles are in control. Everything you want right now is in front of you. The Dallas Cowboys choked in December. By the way, shout to Philly 500. He sent me the Dallas choke thing on December 1st. He said, "Happy December, Xander. The Cowboys are going to choke," and choke they did. Everything is going your way. Now you just got to play your brand of football. If you can play your best football week in and week out, I don't think this league is a tough league right now. I think that defense is good enough to keep every offense at bay, and you'll have a good chance to go back to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. And if you look at the last 10 ball games, you're also 3-3 against winning teams.
That's the Eagles?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, let's be real. They haven't played their best football in the last 8 weeks. They haven't. So let's see what they're able to do. It's on them, man. Look, they have the players. I don't want to hear that. They got the players. It's not like you can look. Some teams you can look and say, we have a personnel deficiency there. We just don't have the guys. You can't say that about this Eagles team. They got the guys. They got first-round draft picks all over the defense. They got high-paid dudes all over the offense. They got everything they need. Play their brand of football, and I think they'll be in good spot. Defense will lead them right back to the Super Bowl, in my opinion.
Is this over the top, or is this accurate? Barkley's finished, dude.
Or I think that's a little over the top. What's that? What'd you say?
Or in between.
Yeah, to me, I know you hate that answer, but I think that is the answer right now, because here's what I don't like. The good I see is that he still looks explosive to me when he does get to the open field. He looks like he still has athletic ability. He still looks like he still has speed and those things. What I don't like is yesterday early in the game, and I keep pointing to this one play, but it's really all the plays you need to see to sum it up. He's got like 5, 6, 7 yards in front of him, literally, and there's a first down marker. And instead of going upfield and getting the yards, he's got a defender closing in from his right. He tries to bounce and dance around the defender to his right and get to the sideline. He ends up picking up 3 total yards in the play when he could have gotten 8 or 9 yards easily. It's like, bro, fucking hit the hole, Saquon. What are you trying to do here? Trying to hit home runs all day? You're not going to hit home runs all day. Give me my 6, 7, 8 yards, and let's get back to the huddle. So that's what I don't like, and that is reminiscent of the New York Giants, Saquon. But I don't think athletically he's lost it. I really don't. I don't see it athletically that he's lost a step. I don't really see that. But I think he's taken a step back in the field vision, and maybe some of that is, all the hype and the hoopla around him all year was, has gotten to him a little bit in the preparation for the game and stuff. Or maybe he's too in love with those home runs. I mean, how many times did you see a Saquon Barkley highlight last year of him running into the wild? You fall in love with those things, man.
Yeah.
He thinks back on that 24 year. That's how he remembers his season, is those big runs. Well, that's not this year. We need you to get 5-6 yards of carry and get back to the huddle. And he's not doing that well.
Do you think the difference in the offense is the fact that he'll come up 910 yards short and 2 yards per carry less? Right now, he's on pace for 1,100 yards and 3.9 yards a carry. Last year, he was almost at like 6 yards a carry a year ago. Do you think that's the difference in the offense? Is that lack of 1,000 yards?
Absolutely.
And what you're seeing here in the run game?
Absolutely is. Absolutely is. I mean, this is a run-first team. This is a risk-averse team. This is a team with a quarterback that, does not play the game, to win by throwing the football all over the yard. It's not their style. And their style has been to run the football. I mean, you won a Super Bowl because you could run the football. Now, I know you didn't run in the game, but you got to the Super Bowl by running the football. That's their identity, and it largely hasn't worked this year that way. They're still, 9-5, which is a credit to them. And I think that's a big hit, and that's probably the biggest thing here in the playoffs. Like, you get to the playoffs, and let's just say Saquon has a similar output that he's had in the regular season. Let's say he goes for 3.5 to 3.7 a carry in the playoff games with 20 carries a game. You're looking at 60 to 80 yards per playoff game. Are you playing? Is your team good enough? Is your defense good enough? Is your offense good enough with that to be able to outscore teams like the Rams? Now, the Seahawks, I feel like you'll be better, but the Seahawks defense is nasty good. I mean, what are they going to hold us to? 17 points, 18 points, 20 points? Can you score more than that? Can you stop them for less than that? So that's the biggest question for sure, is what do they do with the running game not being as prevalent this year?
You know what I would think, and you help me out, Mr. Philadelphia. This guy's got the face of Philly. You got the city of Philadelphia on your face, and I'm going to ask you this, bro.
Why's that?
What's it like when a guy on your Eagle team puts a New York hat on?
I couldn't care.
Come on, man. He's taking a shot at somebody.
I couldn't care less.
Oh, my God, dude.
I got a fucking Yankee hat. My dad was a Yankee fan.
No. He's at a press conference at a Philadelphia Eagle wearing a Yankee hat. By the way, it's not the Yankees, it's New York. He knew that. You think that guy didn't know putting that Yankee lid on was good?
I don't know if that's the reason.
Got my attention. I
don't know if that's the reason. Let's just assume, for the sake of this conversation, that the reason that Jalen wore the Yankee hat is
pissed at the fans and media.
Let's just assume that's true. I don't think it's true, but let's just assume it's true. All right, guy, fucking play better. Look, I don't know what the fuck you want me to say. What, are you mad at the fans because they want you to play better? You're mad at the media for not playing well? Come on, guy. Look around the league, man. Look around the league. Quarterbacks in every city get ripped apart when they don't play well, especially when they're making $50+ million. I don't want to hear that bullshit. Now, I don't think that's why I wear the Yankee hat, but you and Jeff Kerr and John McMullen agree.
Bro, you don't wear shit like that in Philly? No fucking way.
Just tell these cispots in the city to shut the fuck up. I don't give a rat's ass what Jalen Hurts decided to wear on his head.
I'm just telling you, man. I thought it was a shot at somebody.
I mean, who cares?
By the way,
wearing a Yankee hat. Congrats.
His press conferences, too, he was short with everybody.
Bro, it's the most famous hat in the history of hats.
What?
It's the most famous hat.
Symbols matter, dude. Symbols matter.
All right. I know you like the Yankee hat.
Of course I do. I'm a Yankee fan. People always go, Silz, what do you root for? Yankees, yes, I do root for the Yankees.
I don't know how many Phillies fans are in the chat, but sorry, guys. The Phillies hats don't hold a candle to a Yankee hat. The Yankee hat is iconic. You could be anywhere in the world and you see Yankee hats.
Fuck, I got like 5 or 6 color Yankee hats, too. I got a red one. I've got a fucking green one for the Paisans. I got all kinds of the New York logo, bro. By the way, do you know what that New York logo represented? It's not the Yankees. That wasn't their original logo. That's for fallen cops in New York.
Well, what'd you just say?
The Yankee logo is not like the Yankees didn't make that logo. That logo was from the New York City Police Department, and it's for fallen cops.
Really?
Yeah.
The Yankee logo?
Yep. The NY.
The NY?
NY. Look it up. Absolutely.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's for fallen cops. Okay. Hey, real quick here. What'd you make it at? Have you seen the Fernando Mendoza speech yet?
No, I didn't watch. I'm not producing your show. I saved it though for later. I'm gonna watch it tonight.
You got to watch it.
I know you wanted to talk about it. I should have watched it, but
Bro,
I didn't watch it yet. I had a busy weekend, so I didn't get a chance to see the Heisman ceremony. But I'll say this: I love dudes who wear their emotion on their sleeve, good, bad, or indifferent.
He was without a doubt, without a question, was one of the greatest things I've ever seen. And by the way, you talk about you talk about without a doubt a guy who's a winner, Xander. And I just love the guy, man. You know what? Somebody's going to take a shot at him, okay? And they're going to draft him because of what they saw.
Who's got the number 1 pick right now?
The Jets.
If I were a quarterback going into the draft, I legitimately might put out shit against me to drop out of the first 5 picks because it's the same teams every year and every quarterback goes there to die. I mean, it's very rare that you see a quarterback in those top couple picks. I mean, it's not worth. Look at Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow completely turned the Bengals around. And even after that, when the chickens come home to roost, the organization is a shit organization and they're back to where they are, even with a great quarterback. By the way, that dude's got to stop crying. That dude sounds like a fucking cesspot. Joe Burrow, shut up. Yeah, holy shit. I can't listen to that guy anymore.
He tried to quantify this, and I was like,
I don't even want to hear him.
Yeah, I don't want to hear him.
Like, you think your play is taking him to play or whatever? He's like, no, my play's been great. Blah, 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 blah. Shut the fuck up, Joe. Shut up.
I wanted to double check. Originally, it was inspired by the New York PD. It's the Medal of Valor designed by Tiffany's. That was
really designed by Tiffany?
Yeah. It was
they designed one of probably the most iconic logo of all time.
Yeah. So it's not fucking made up. I know your Yankee history, bitches.
Yeah. Did someone tell you it was made up? By the way,
I was like, what do you mean made up?
I just got out of the damn dentist again today. I had to go and finish up finally got my permanent crown on there. Holy shit.
Yeah, dude, I was very disappointed in Joe Burrow, man. I won't lie there on that.
Yeah, dude, screw him.
Okay, so
he's annoying as shit. It's like, Joe, all right, bro. Nobody gives a shit.
Why not rest Lane Johnson the rest of the season until the playoffs?
Well, I think that's actually a fair question at this point. I mean, you got 3 to go. You got 2 Commanders games, but I think it's because they're fighting. I mean, I think they still believe they could get the 1 seed, even though it's improbable. And obviously, Lane Johnson improves your chances at that. Now, if something happens, like a Thursday night, if the Rams win that game, I think they would lock the 1 seed, I think. I'm not sure, though. Maybe, but I don't think that's how it works, man. I mean, like, John always tells me this. He's like, dude, if they're healthy, they're playing. You know what I mean? Like, resting guys doesn't really happen a lot in the NFL. I mean, they don't rest guys that much. If someone's healthy, they're going to play. And that's what I kind of think about Lane. I think they're going to play him, and, I have no problem with that. We need Lane Johnson, man.
Well, the reason why did they pull him because Hurts is hurt? Or did they pull him because they were killing the Eagles or they were killing the Raiders?
We don't know. I mean, I think it was maybe a combination of the two. Maybe like they were thinking, all right, we'll get him out here soon. And then Jalen tweaks his ankle and you're just like, all right, take him out now. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit of that. John seemed to think that, I don't know. He definitely didn't like declaratively say what he thought, but he definitely was open to the thought process of like, like, was that for benching or was it for, the ankle? I don't know. Look at these haters telling me I got to put my hat back on. They hate the versatility of me, Big Silz. I'm a triple threat.
All right, KP, how well do you think Kevin Patullo did?
I'm not giving Kevin Patullo credit for game planning against the Raiders. Sorry, not happening.
I did like that run concept with them flip tosses to the tight end.
Yeah, right.
That was nice.
That's good. Here's my biggest concern with the game. You want to know my biggest concern?
You're not going banana peel tailpipe. That's good.
No, but you want to know my biggest concern with the game?
Yeah.
Why does it take the Eagles to play the Raiders to play 4 quarters? Why?
Because they don't have to play an A game.
Yeah, but that's not something that you want to. That's not something that you want to be a part of your identity going into the playoffs.
You're going to give them credit for this. they're not lowering their standards like Carolina did against the Saints or other teams do on a consistent
Yeah,
basis.
but come on, that's the first time they did it.
And the Raiders just didn't want to play. I don't know, man. I listen. I think it's a false positive.
Man, I do too. I mean, I think.
I don't think anything has anything changed in your opinion? Let me go over
No.
to the defensive side. Were you more impressed with them?
The defense I've been consistently impressed with, and I think that's more like that Bears game is more looking like the outlier, you know what I mean, than anything, which is a good thing. But they're susceptible, and I think the offense does still have to continue to help them. I mean, is there any coincidence that I know you played the Raiders and their offense sucked anyway, but 75 total yards or 72 yards, whatever the hell it was, the offense had the ball for 40 minutes of game clock yesterday. I mean, we've been getting beaten that metric in almost every game this year because we don't move the football and we get 3 and outs like it's our job. So I think the offense, the best help for the offense is the defense, and the best help for the defense is the offense. That's football. I mean, that'll always be football. But I think even specifically where they are right now with the defense being better than the offense, if the offense can move the ball just a little bit more, your defense is, I think, going to continue to play at that high level. If you can't fucking stay on the field, they're going to have games like the Bears game where they just can't hold up anymore, So I think they got it. The offense will help them out a little bit more. And, look, that's Jalen Hurts' best help too, is his own defense. It was that way last year too. So if the better the offense plays, the better the defense will play. And that in turn will continue to make the offense better. It's a cycle. Everybody will get better when the other people are helping them out.
21st ranked defense. You think that's indicative of the talent on that team on defensive side of the ball? They're ranked 21st right now.
Yeah, I don't think it's indicative. I don't even think it's indicative of how they've played. I don't think they've played like that. You know what I mean? I think they're on the field a lot. I think they do give up a lot of yards. Like, they are a yard team. They're better with the points for sure. They didn't give up a lot of yards yesterday, but this season they've given up a good amount of yards. But no, I don't think they're the 21st ranked defense. I think they're much better than that. I think they're a top 10 defense.
They're do you think they're top 10?
Yeah, I do. Personally, I do. I think you can make an argument on their good days they're top 5.
Wow. Yeah, I haven't seen that this year where that on a consistent basis where I see it.
Definitely not. It's no, well, if you're going consistent, no way.
Yeah.
I said on a given day, I've seen them be a top 5 day. So I think they're capable of it.
Okay. Do you think the Eagle offense is a 24th ranked offense in pro football?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So you're okay, and I'll buy that what you just said. You believe that the number really doesn't show really the improvement of the defense being 21st, but you think the Eagle offense is one of the middle or down towards the bottom of the league, 24th. You think that's really who they are?
Well, it's who they've been for sure. The defense, you can't say that. Yeah,
that's a better take. Who they've been.
I mean, who they are. I mean, you can make an argument who they are too. Dude, we're done week 15. Me and you are preparing this week for week 16. Can you believe it? By the way, I feel like we just started this.
When that train gets rolling, doesn't it roll?
Oh man, does it roll? By the way, college football. I was thinking about this. I love college football, but man, it sucks how quick it goes. It's like 2.5 months.
Yeah. It's not, but it feels
it. It feels like it is. It's like 10 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, our teams play what, 10 games, 11 games?
And then the postseason blows compared to the regular season. The bowl games, really. Now, we do have playoff games this weekend. Bama plays Friday.
Bama's Friday night.
In Norman, too.
Fuck Norman and fuck Oklahoma. Bama's going to beat that ass on Friday. Watch.
Miami goes to College Station on Saturday.
Yeah. What time's that game?
Noon. Eastern.
Oh, noon. I get to wake up and watch that sucker early.
Noon Eastern.
I'll be texting you this weekend. Yo, is that game Saturday?
No, Friday.
No, the Miami game.
Yeah, Saturday.
Bro, that sucks. The Eagles play Saturday.
Oh, that's right. Bro,
what is up with these? Why is NFL scheduling Saturday games when the college football playoffs are on?
I think that, but isn't the Eagle game like 2:00 in the afternoon?
It's 2:00 your time, 5:00 Eastern, which is just random.
Yeah, but it's noon, so the Canes game will be over. It's
The
noon your
Canes game
time.
will be over for sure.
Yeah, the Canes game. I don't give a fuck about Tulane and James Madison.
Is
No shot me watching
that the other game?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. No, they play Friday night before the Bama game.
Yeah, JMU and Oregon plays Saturday night. Tulane and Ole Miss play Saturday day at 3:30.
I don't give a shit.
And Miami plays
And
Saturday.
you notice this
noon.
too? Those games, those James Madison and Tulane games are on. Guess what? TNT.
TNT. Yep.
ESPN's not airing that bullshit.
Why is Eagles? Yeah, let's go Saturday for this shit show. It's gonna be another snooze fest too. Alabama, Oklahoma's Friday night though. That's banging.
You think the Kansas City dynasty's over?
I think Kansas City is oddly similar to like the Patriots. Like they could get back. That just might take them a little bit. I don't think it'll take them 10 years, but I think they need to regroup. In a way, I think this is probably a good thing for Kansas City in terms of like you're out.
Not having to play so long again.
Right. Get some rest. Let's get to the drawing board. Tell the GM and Andy to get together, and figure out what they want to do personnel-wise. They need more talent on that team. I mean, they don't have a lot of talent on that team. They really don't. They don't have that much talent, in my opinion. So it's caught up to them, and we'll see what they do to rebound. But I don't think the dynasty is over. I just think they're on pause. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is still the best player in the world. So that guy gives you a chance in any game and every game, So if he gets back healthy, by the way, man, tough day of injuries yesterday, man.
Oh,
Mahomes,
man.
Micah, it's brutal. Devontae Adams, so dudes dropping everywhere. So, that's the other thing, Silz.
War of attrition.
Eagles are looking good in the war of attrition again, man.
No long sustained injuries. Absolutely.
Right.
Knock on wood here. I'm going to play a game with you here. You ready? Champs or chumps? Okay?
Okay.
You think, and I'm going to go AFC, NFC. Think Broncos have a shot at the championship?
All right. You started here. I didn't know you were going to start on the Broncos. I got to play the crow deal on Bo Nix. Because early in the year, I thought he was being carried a little bit. He was along for the ride with a great defense.
He threw for 300 yards in that game.
Now that guy's making stone cold plays. I mean, did you see some of those throws yesterday to Cortland Sutton?
And he's
this dude's dropping dots out there. So Bo Nix deserves a lot of credit. I think they're legit. That defense, when you have a great defense, you're always going to be a legit team in the play.
You're always in a game.
Exactly. So that defense is nasty good in Denver. They're coached well. And now if Bo Nix continues to play like this, I mean, what the hell? That team could beat anybody. So I got to eat my crow on Bo Nix. I'm a hater because of the Auburn effect, when he was back at Auburn before he transferred. And I got to give him credit, man. I'm going to go champ.
He's getting better.
He's getting a lot better. Not just better. Dude, some of those throws, I was watching that game yesterday. I always rewatch when I get off the post-game show. I had it on playing. I'm like, holy shit. I haven't seen Bo Nix make these throws consistently. He was dropping that ball all over the yard yesterday, man. Accurate, too. So we'll see. But I'm going to go champ for the sake of the argument.
Against the Green Bay Packers, he threw for 4 touchdowns, 302, and was 23 of 34 with a 134 quarterback rating. I don't know about you, man, but that's fucking getting it done. I get it's in Denver. But, dude, 4 TDs against that. And Micah played a lot of that game before he ended up going down. I mean, all right, here's another one now. Rams, chumps or champs?
Champs also. Good defense, much better defense than they had last year. Matthew Stafford's playing lights out, just obviously a amazing surveyor of the field. I love the way he sees the game, man. His style of offense is still so fun to watch. I know that we don't have that style, and a lot of people wish it, and it's kind of a dying breed in the NFL, but man, is it fun to watch a quarterback just walk up to the line of scrimmage, survey, get through his reads, get through his progressions, get the ball out, gunsling that ball down the field. He's playing, obviously, lights out. He's a Super Bowl caliber player. I think he's headed to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and that defense is much improved from last year. So I think they're a good team. Yeah, I think they're a champ team.
I'm going to tell you this, man. I made something over the weekend. I was talking to Coach Tressman. I got to tell you, I would never draft a quarterback under 6'2". Just not going to do it. Name me quarterbacks that have had spectacular success that are 6'1".
Jalen Hurts.
Okay. Give me another one. Drew Brees. Okay.
Drew Brees.
Give me another one. Russell Wilson. Okay. There's three.
That was dropping the bucket. I mean, he fell off quick.
Now
Brees is obviously the most obvious one with 80,000 passing yards.
Who?
But Drew. Yeah. I mean, could you make this argument? Drew Brees.
Montana 6'3".
Is he? Because I was going to say, what's Stafford? 6'3", probably.
Stafford's 6'4".
Is Drew Brees the most talented quarterback of all time?
Because of the size, he's like barely.
Can you imagine if Drew Brees was 6'5"?
Lamar Jackson 6'4".
Yeah,
Steve Young 6'2".
Jalen's not 5'10". Jalen's definitely
he's not. He's 6 something like
yeah,
one.
He's probably 6'1". He's probably right there.
My point is the averages, the chances of a 6'1" quarterback being great compared again, the averages, the numbers. Most of these quarterbacks in the pocket are 6'3", 6'4", dude. I mean, 6'1" quarterbacks don't cut it.
Yeah.
Because you know why? They can't see over the pocket.
That makes sense to me. I can understand where you're coming from with that. I mean, look, we're not a quarterback-driven team in the way that like the Rams are. We're not. And that's okay. I think everybody should just accept that and be good with that. We can win with Jalen Hurts. We've won with Jalen Hurts. There's no questions that we can win with Jalen Hurts. We need a lot around him. Right. And when things around him are good, he clearly is good enough to get the job done. But he's not going to be the guy that drives the team forward, like you see some other guys do. And by the way, that's not a perfect way to go about it either. There's a lot of quarterbacks who do that and never go the distance. So Eagles have a great team, and that's why they're as good as they are.
Let me ask you something. I see something in here that I'd be interested on. Do short goaltenders, do they make it?
No.
I mean, Waugh's like
my biggest.
Is it Waugh like
5'10", 5'11"? I could have been great. I mean, I was a AAA goalie, but I could have never gone to college for hockey. I mean, I'm 5'10", 5'11". I can't go to college for hockey. Goalies are 6'3", taking up the whole net. It's not happening.
So they want big dudes. They want big dudes in net, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Are you buying the Patriots? Chumps or champs?
The Patriots. I want to say champs, but I'm going to lean more chumps here. I got to see it still in the playoffs.
Okay. Bears, chumps or champs?
Chumps.
Okay.
Bad defense. Quarterback play suspect still. Don't see it yet. Good offensive line, though. That's probably the biggest thing going for them.
I'm going to make a point to everyone here. Jaguars, chumps or champs?
Weirdly closer to champs here than I thought I'd be.
10-4 by Liam Cohen. And how about this? Trevor Lawrence is on pace to throw for 4K and 30 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's playing good. And they actually have a better team. And
their defense is very good.
That's what I'm saying. They kind of have the makings that you need, and Trevor Lawrence is capable. So
you're talking.
This is kind of how I would describe the show. Now, if you kind of took it out of my mouth, that's perfect right there, show. Jags are sneaky. I'm kind of leaning more champs there.
Yeah, me
but
too.
Can I go push, or are you going to call me a politician?
Let's do push. I don't mind that.
I'll go push there.
Okay. Wow. Surprisingly, I agree. Eagles. I'm saying champs.
I'm saying champs there too.
Okay.
But they got a lot to prove. I mean, their champs is
more.
So
far, I've only got three. So far, I've only got three.
Yeah, but here's my pushback. Not pushback, but this is of course, Keith, you're going to say that. The thing with the Eagles is the Eagles are the most reliant on pedigree and resume when having this conversation.
I think that roster too, being as skilled as it is.
Yeah, but again, it's because of what they've accomplished. It's not because of what they've done this year.
All right, fair enough.
Okay,
how about this one? Steelers, chumps or champs?
Chumps.
Okay. Bucks, chumps or champs?
Chumps.
How about the Chargers at 10-4?
To me, they're still chumps. You're going to say champs there. I know it.
I like the coach and the QB and the defense.
Yeah, me too. Which I guess is the makings of a good playoff team.
And you're not going to have Jacksonville fucking games with Herbert, with Jim Harbaugh in the building. That's not going to work. I'm going to say champs. Seahawks, chumps or champs?
I lean push on this because their defense is champ. But I don't know about their offense.
Because of Darnold. That's really the only reason. It's Darnold.
Yeah, I think the thing with the Chargers there, going back real quick, that O-line is really tough for me to put them as a champ. And you go to the Seahawks, the quarterbacks makes it really tough for me to put them as a champ. But if I went chump on Chargers, I think I got to go chump on Seahawks.
Bills, chumps or champs?
Bills are champs to me.
Okay.
They got the great equalizer. They have the best quarterback in football right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
49.
Did anybody, real quick though, because people love to come in here and shit on you if Josh Allen has one game where he doesn't look like a superhuman. Did anybody watch the Buffalo Bills yesterday? Probably not, because it was the Eagles.
He was so good.
The guy is fucking remarkable. He's a remarkable talent. He's a fucking. It's great that we have him in this league right now because he is that fucking good. All right, he is that good. That guy gives them a chance in any game. He is so damn good, Josh Allen. Such a beast. Love the way he plays the game.
Me too. 49ers, chumps or champs?
And to me, they're chumps. And honestly, I'd be saying champs if they had Fred and Nick. I would. But those two guys being injured to me is a big hit. Purdy, I still have some questions on there, but good roster, good coaching, and they're 10-4. So they deserve some credit. But to me, they're chumps in the big picture.
How about this? McCaffrey's going to have 1,100 yards this year and 1,000 yards receiving and 100 catches. Bro, that's the third time in his career he's done that. He did it twice in Carolina. Now he's going to do it in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Fucking incredible. What an absolutely skilled ball player he is, man. Texans, boy, I'll tell you, this is a freaky one for me. Chumps or champs, they had a tough start. But, dude, they are having historic defensive run this year.
Yeah.
Historic. And I'm going to make a point to you, and I said this before, and I'll do it again. That guy, Will Anderson, in 2 years is going to be better than Parsons.
Will Anderson's a monster.
Bro, he is a fucking beast.
He was a monster in college, for those who don't know. He went to Alabama. He's a monster. So they're to me, they're similar to the Seahawks. Like, they're really good defenses, but I have major questions. I don't know about their offensive line. Actually, maybe more similar to the Chargers than the Seahawks. Probably in there. But their defensive line is crazy. Daniil Hunter, obviously. And I think, did I read he's done?
No, I didn't hear that.
No, it wasn't Daniil Hunter. Who's the vet who's been playing through the shoulder? Oh, no. Mixed them up. Not he's not done. I was thinking of Jonathan Grenard, the Vikings guy who's been playing through the injury, and they're going to sit him down now. I'm going to go gut feeling here, solely gut feeling. I'm going to go champs on Texans. Even though I don't love their offensive line, I don't love their quarterback, and I got questions. I love D'Amico Ryans, and I love that defense.
Packers, chumps or champs?
Packers are still champs to me, even with the loss of Micah.
I disagree with John, too. I agree with you. Okay. I'm not going to do any bubble teams. Well, real quick. Colts, chumps. Colts are chumps, right?
I love to see Phillip Rivers out there, but yeah, they're chumps.
Lions, chumps?
No, I don't think so. I think they're the one team everybody in the NFC doesn't want to get in the wild card.
Right now, they're on the bubble.
Yep, they're on the bubble, and they're close to being out. They have a 41% chance to make the postseason.
Ravens, chumps, champs?
Chumps.
Panthers, chumps?
Chumps.
Dolphins, chumps?
Chumps.
Okay. So here's what I got for you. There's the teams that we've picked that could potentially go and win a Super Bowl. Denver, the Rams, the Eagles, the Chargers. I got Chargers. You don't. Let's split.
I'll give you Chargers, though. I'm okay with you having them in there.
Okay. Chargers, Houston, Bills, Detroit, and Green Bay. Those are teams. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teams out of a 32-team league. Let's take a look at NFC. Rams, Eagles, Green Bay, and Detroit. So theoretically, there's only 4 teams. And really, if you're looking at it, it's Rams and Eagles, in my opinion, over those other two, because those other two would be in a second tier. Don't you think?
Yep.
Green Bay and Detroit? So think about it.
Now rank those defenses.
I got Rams 1.
Defenses?
Yeah. You didn't handle the Rams defense.
I think they're good.
You think you handled the Rams defense when they
No,
played?
I don't think they're the best defense on that list.
In the NFC, I do. But with those teams,
Texans,
bro, you couldn't handle that front seven. They were all over them. They outgained you. You didn't gain a lot of yards in that.
So long ago, though.
I agreed, and I think they're better now.
Yeah, Rams secondary. I mean, they got that fucking Emmanuel Forbes, don't they? I don't trust these dudes. Texans are the best defense in football. So
Browns are second, I think.
I mean, that's the thing, though. All the Super Bowl contenders that we picked are all good defenses, except for probably the Bills. They don't have a great defense, but they're even a top 10 day.
Here's the teams we next. Okay, so we said Texans have a shot at winning it. They're number 1.
Yep.
The Broncos are not. Yeah, the Broncos are on this list. I got them there. They're number 3. The Chargers are number 4.
Yep.
They're on this list. The Packers are 5.
Yep.
The Seahawks are 6.
Yep.
The Bills are 10th.
Yep. Maybe we should put the Patriots in there as a truther because they're the 7th ranked defense. And if that quarterback can play good in the postseason, they're going to be a scary team.
Rams are 13th right now.
Although Josh Allen made that number 7 ranked defense his bitch yesterday in the second half.
Okay.
He made that defense his bitch.
Run defense. Let me see where the Rams are in run defense. Dude, Rams are 10th. Okay. Scoring, the Rams are 3rd. Red zone, Rams are 2nd. I don't know where you think the Rams aren't good defensively.
It's not that I don't think they're good. I said
down,
rank them. We put Rams 1. They're not the best defense.
Rams are 8th in 3rd down. Now, how about this combination of offense and defense? You tell me there's a better combination between the Rams offense and the Rams defense?
No, I'm not. What about the better combination of who gives the biggest advantage defensive coordinator wise? I think that's the Eagles.
Who's the D coordinator in it's the former head coach in Denver. Fuck's that guy's name? He's pretty good too, but yeah, Vic's the best here with this. Yeah, Vic would get the best.
I mean, I think the only one who's got really good Vance Joseph is the Broncos DC.
Yeah, he was the former head coach. He's a hell of a coach. But as a combo, Xander, offensively and defensively.
So I think the best defensive coaching probably out there is probably the Texans next to the Eagles.
It is.
Because they have D'Amico Ryans as their head coach, who's obviously a beast. And then they got Matt Burke as their coordinator, who's been pretty good there. So, well, we'll see.
Right now, again, here's the Rams. So the Rams, Byron Young has 11 sacks. And I thought Verse would be higher on this list. He's not. Dude, Detroit's got 2 dudes with 10 sacks. Hutchinson and Muhammad. I don't think the Eagles have anybody. Boy, they don't have anybody on the sack list. In the top.
Yo, are you having G-Cobb on today?
Yeah.
All right. You never text me. That's all.
I'm sorry about that.
No, you're good. I just wanted to make sure.
Who's got the most sacks for the Eagles? They're not even in the top 40.
Wow. No, they're not a big sack team this year at all.
Wow.
I mean, how about BG though?
Man, that's so. Hey, dude, fucking awesome. Let's get these supers, man, because G-Cobb's going to join us.
Yeah, let's go. All right, good stuff though. I mean, I still think the Eagles are in a good spot. I know everybody's like,
there's only 8 teams.
It's so funny. You just can't win with these new goons. Like, oh, now I'm a homer again. It's like, what did you want me to do? Not be honest? I always tell you guys I'm honest. Right now, I feel good about the Eagles right now because of what's going on around the NFC, and they handled business yesterday. Doesn't mean they're going to win the Super Bowl because they beat the Raiders, but I feel better about it today than I did about it before the Raiders game. And the defense is coming along. I need Jalen to play more consistently. That's the last thing here. Like, dude, enough of this high-low shit. Seriously. It's too hard to win with.
I don't think you were. Man, I'll tell you when I hear your.
Yeah, you were chirping on the post game.
No, what I was saying is that I learned nothing about him. And zero. They took care of business. They didn't play down. I think the defense, looking back, if I had to say something better on the post game, would have been a little bit more love for the defense and what they did. But the offense, man, hey, I mean, look, bro, they were better on third down.
Do you think Jalen Hurts was upset with the talk last week in the city?
Yeah, I do. That's what that hat is.
Well, good. Play better.
Yeah, that might be actually better for him.
Yeah. Here's Mr. In fact, maybe we should keep railing it because, if that gets him to play better every week, shit, we'll be on our way to a Super Bowl. Here's Mr. MKW. What's up, brother? 31-0 to the Raiders equals more team confidence, more vanilla play calls, I think, till the playoffs, and KP will open it up. Team is still flawed, but who isn't? I agree with that. I don't know about opening it up, though. In the playoffs.
Yeah, they're not going to open anything up.
I've never been a fan of that concept. You don't,
no.
I get that people think that, but
they don't.
NFL coaches don't come into the season and say, all right, we're just going to, you don't come in with the assumption you're just going to open it up and turn it on in the postseason when you haven't worked on that all year.
I've never heard
figure out what you do well, and then you do it well and you force teams to stop. You don't just say, all right, playoffs are here, time to do something different. That's not how they coach. Here's Kimberly. Knicks 62 starts with Auburn and Oregon. Reps matter. That's true, man.
Boy, I'll tell you.
And quarterback.
And I think that's why Sean Payton took him in Denver.
And look at the other dude in New Orleans who's showing some signs. I mean, he was in college a long time.
Hey, one of the things with Purdy having all those 50 starts at Iowa State, I think that helped him win that job.
Yeah. Kimberly, thank you. Good chat there. Keese, what's up, Keese? Silz, I got on your behind last night on Xander time. Pause. Love you, brother. He joined after on the postgame show.
Oh, good, man. Yeah, no, I mean, you wanted me to be a glazed donut. And Xander kept trying to pull it out of me.
Nobody wanted you to be a glazed donut.
Oh, you went, no. Everyone wanted me to go, Silz, weren't you happy with what you saw? And I went, I learned nothing about your
Eagles don't make the schedule. They can only knock the pin down that's in front of them. And
God, famous line.
They took an atomic bomb to that pin yesterday.
Yeah.
Here's Big Fish. I'm not scared to go to LA. Rams don't even have real fans. We will take over that. Oh, absolutely. Every time we play there, Big Fish, it's an Eagle home game. Even when we played the Chargers there a couple weeks ago.
Gary Cobb played. Get this. Let me just say this to you. You know who the 32nd team is in the NFL? It's Southern Cal. It's not the Rams.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
True. Here's Shooter. What's up, Shooter? Pats clinch if they beat Miami and the Jets. Yeah, we saw that.
Yep.
And Pumper. Brian Pumper's not creaming over 175, but those three passes from Tanner were magnificent. Wow.
Tanner McKee, man. Did you see the Mormon missile? I bet you even G-Cobb was like, holy cow. Did you see that guy? Fleet of foot.
I don't want to hear that he's a statue, though, right? He ran the ball for 9 yards, man.
Yeah,
that was a nice little shoot by Tanner.
He was throwing on time, and all of a sudden they didn't want him to throw anymore because you'd hear chirping in the stands of Philly going, look at that guy throw the ball.
I'm curious to hear what G-Cobb says about your Yankee hat take.
Oh, so let me tell you something. So I want to set it up for G-Cobb. So Jalen Hurts got a little snidey or snippy in his post-game press conference. So what did he do? He decided to put a Yankee lid on in Philly, a New York lid in Philly, because he heard some chirping on WIP. bench Jalen Hurts. So what's he do? Hey, ask anybody when the Knicks come to Philly. How's that thing look at the Wells Fargo when those dudes roll in there? How's that look when the Knicks go in there? New York fans in there. Dude, people in Philly hate New York. And people in New York hate Philadelphia. I mean, fuck, you're wearing a Yankee lid? You can't have that on your head, man. So I think it was a message to all the media guys. G-Cobb, tell him, bench him. Big Silz, bench him. And there's Jalen Hurts with a Yankee hat on. You ain't buying it, huh?
I'm not buying it.
All right.
If that is the case, though, fucking play better and you won't hear the noise. It's simple. It's so simple.
You keep lining tomato cans like the Raiders up, you're all good.
We got the Marcus Mariota-led Commanders twice in the next 3 games, so it should be good.
Man.
All right, Silz, good show, man. I'll talk to you later.
All right, brother, I will see you. I'm
Later,
sorry, man. When I saw that Yankee lid, I was like, you don't wear a Yankee lid in Philly. There ain't no way. It'd be like wearing a UCLA hat in the G-Cobb's neck of the woods in Watts. You don't wear a UCLA hat down there. Yeah. By the way, I went on a trip to Southern Cal, and the AD McGee was there. And you know what he said? I go, "What's on the other side of the fence?" He goes, "Yeah, well." I go, "Why you got a big fence there and a big thing going around on the other side of the practice facility or the practice field?" Really, Watts is on the other side of the USC practice facility. And I'm like, how come there's a big screen up? He goes, yeah, well, it's USC. Without further ado, I can't wait to hear that one. He is our friend from Fox 29, former Eagle himself. He is G-Cobb. He joins us now here on the program. Come on, G-Cobb. You don't wear a Yankee hat in Philly, do you?
Well, I think that, he meant something by that. That was his way of jabbing back. You definitely don't wear that. I mean, but really the truth is Philly has an inferiority complex too, because they're not New York. They're not, Philly is not DC. The president is not there, with all of the Congress and everything. So Philly has an inferiority complex in a way because it's not what Philly was when the nation was founded. When the nation was founded, Philly was the capital.
Yeah.
Philly was everything happened in Philly.
That's right.
But now, New York with how big New York is, and then you got DC, Philly doesn't have that. It was taken from them. So in a way, Philly's got a chip on the shoulder, and it's not a big deal.
You don't wear a Yankee hat though in Philly at a
that's he meant something by that, and that's his way of taking a shot back at all the people that take shots at him and everything. So it's understandable, no big deal, but it ultimately comes down to you got to produce. If you don't produce, at some point, you're going to pay the price for it if you don't produce, and he knows that.
Okay, so I said this, G-Cobb, and you tell me if I'm off base on this. 24 hours after the ball game here, here's my takeaway was I really didn't learn anything about the Eagles in that ball game. I mean, I wasn't really overly impressed. Maybe I should have been, but I wasn't because, hey, and at the end of the day, if the Raiders didn't want to show up and play, that's not an Eagle thing. That's a Raider issue.
Correct.
Okay. And so they took care of business.
Yep.
They did what the most important thing at this time of the year, Gary. You don't want your team playing down to competition because you see a lot of that, bud.
Correct.
Did you take anything away from that game on Sunday?
No, because the Raiders are horrible. Come on. The Raiders would have trouble beating the Raiders. I mean, they're horrible. Okay. Pathetic. I mean, and that offense that they had, horrible. Come on, how do you not get 100 yards? I mean, look, all due respect to the Eagles' defense, come on, they're not dominate what it. But you know what? That's done. What's done. Eagles want to get out of there. They don't want to get anybody hurt or anything like that. Get through this game. and get out of here. And really, some of these other games, these Washington games, come on. They should go in and take care of Washington too, because Washington is done, man. They got a bunch of old players, you know, their young quarterback, he's not going to be playing and everything. So they should just, you know, jump on these guys, get it over with early. But the Eagles really, you know, they're one of the teams that's a question mark because they do have the ability to play at a level which could challenge Los Angeles, could challenge, you know, the Rams. It could challenge these other teams. The whole thing is, do they get back to where they are capable of playing? You know, can they get back to that level? To me, that's the whole question mark, because I don't know who could beat the Rams really. I don't know if the Rams play the way they're capable. Maybe Seattle. And Seattle's played them well.
They're playing Thursday night too, Seattle and the Rams.
Yeah. Now those are two teams that I think, you know, that have shown that consistently to play on a high level. The Eagles are capable of playing on that level. Whole question is, can they get back to it?
All right. How about this, Gary? In the last 10 games, since October 5th, where I called the first month of the season in September, Liars Month, since October, they're 10-10, and they've only beaten 2 winning teams. Is that something to think about as you're moving forward?
Yeah, it's something to think about. Now, you know, some of these games they lost were close, just like the games they won. They were close games. They were games where either team could have won. And they've had a lot of games where, they beat the team, but, you know, wasn't a dominant performance and everything. The whole thing is, can they get to the point where they're playing at the level they played at last year? You know, can they do that? Can they get that running game going? Because if they get the running game going, it makes Jalen better. I mean, it makes him more consistent and everything, because he plays off of that play action pass, his ability to run. You know, you put his ability to run in there, and it's another weapon that is key and can help them beat a good team. See, his ability to run. So they got to get back to that level. I haven't seen them play that like that, you know, consistently this year, but that's what they got to get back to. They got to get back to where they're taking care of the football, they're running the ball on everybody, and they're throwing the ball effectively, because, you know, they're I think their strength is play action pass, but they got to get that running game going. You know, if you just take away the running game, can they beat people just throwing the ball? I don't know. I don't know if I can see them doing that and everything. But they got to play at a higher level in order to, you know, shake up things in the playoffs and, you know, shock everybody and, let's say, go back to the bowl again. You know, that they got to play at a higher level. Now, the thing is, they're capable of it. We've seen some of it. But this year, you know, I can't say I've seen that.
Okay, Jalen's game this year has been what to you? Has it been inconsistent? Has it been what you expected? Has he had a good year? I mean, Gary, his 2 best games are against the Raiders and Giants.
Yeah.
I mean, outside of that, we've seen moments, not consistency.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that's true and everything. But even if they were if they went into some of the bowl games, see, depends on the way the whole team plays. Let's say against Seattle, which Seattle's got a good football team.
Good defense. Great defense.
If they go in and they score 20 points against Seattle and beat them in the playoffs, would we take it? Yeah, we would take it. You know, and they're capable of that. Jalen's capable of that, which is take care of the ball, make, you know, 10 outstanding throws that allow them to either score or, you know, a third down plays and all of that. we know that he's capable of that in big games with everything on the line and everything, taking care of the ball, making big throws and everything. Now, is he gonna go out and help them score 35 points? No, we're not thinking about that. We're thinking about them winning a game, let's say 23-20. You know, let's say the defense plays well against the Rams, and they get in a battle against the Rams, and they win the game. You know, and they score 24, to 23, and they beat the Rams or whatever. They're capable of that, but going out, scoring 35 points up and down the field for 450 yards, they haven't shown they can do that, But what it has shown is that they do need a running game, For him to just take everything on and do that without a running game, that's to me, that's unlikely. He hasn't shown he can do that against a good defense and everything, but he has shown he can do it with the running game. He can add the enough passing yardage and big plays and everything to beat a good team. So that's what they've got to do.
How about this, Gary?
Yeah.
So Saquon Barkley will have 900 yards less than he did a year ago.
Yeah.
He's 2 yards per carry less than a year ago.
Yeah.
Do you believe that is this overstating this, do you think? Or do you think this is accurate? Man, he's just not the same player that he once was. I mean, that was a game to get the offensive running game right. I mean, the Raiders didn't even want to play. They didn't want to get off the bus because of that web. They didn't want to do anything, and you couldn't get it going and really control the game because, as you get into the playoffs, Gary, you need a running game to control the playoffs.
You definitely need a running game, and that's a big question mark. But I don't think it's so much just Saquon. It's the line. They're not a dominant line like they were last year. And they've got to get that back. I mean, how much time they have to do that. This is, right now. I couldn't say that I'm leaning in their favor. Where I think that they got to show me something.
Yeah.
They got to show everybody, that they can do this. Can they put together a running game and run the ball against a good defense? Can they do that? That's what they're going to have to do. In order to get back to where they were last year, they're going to have to put together some kind of a running game, because I don't know that I see them doing it with their passing game where they can just because I don't think, I'm looking at the Rams yesterday. Are the Eagles, is their passing attack as complex
No way.
and as advanced as the Rams?
No,
they're not.
Way.
The Rams could even though they run the ball well too, the Rams have an attack where they're throwing so much at you that they could do it alone without their running game. So I don't see the Eagles. I don't see them as being that advanced. So that's why if they got to show me right now. I'm not a believer. They got to show me they can do this. Now I have seen these players do it. I have seen this team do it, but it wasn't this year. This was last year.
Yeah.
But they got to show us this year that they can do that. And, I'm waiting to see it. I'm rooting for them, but they got to show me, man. That Raider game, please get out of here,
Yeah, right. I learned nothing about the football team here.
Yeah.
Who's more important of the return of these two players? Who do you think is going to be more of an important return? Jalen Carter or Lane Johnson?
That's a tough one because it's so different. Of course, they need both of them in a bad way. Both of them, they need both of them very much. But I guess if they look at the stats, you'd say Lane, because you look at the games he missed, just like it's happened before with the stats. What, he lose 4 or 5? I mean, he misses 4 or 5 games. You know, they lose 3 of them. I mean, come on. So that's going to be interesting to see what.
That's a great comment. I didn't think about that. Lane's missed 4 games, and they're 1-3 versus that record without Lane in there, right?
That's right. That's right. And he's got stats that are, have been like that every time he gets hurt. You know, they have bad things happen, but got to be interested getting him back, getting Jalen Carter, getting him back. Can he come in and really, Jalen Carter's got a lot on the line for these games, man.
Oh my God! I mean, Gary, think about, and this is why I'm bringing this up. Drew Rosenhaus, I think, has got a lot of influence over him.
Yeah.
And you got $180 million contract coming up March 17th that you're going to start negotiating, which they probably already have begun those negotiations because, and I wonder where that number's going to fall. He has not had a very good year.
That's right.
And if you're Drew Rosenhaus, do you want him to go back out there and put more bad tape up? Because I think, listen, would you not agree? If you come off a year ago where you think he had a B+ season, or maybe even an A- season, this year's been anything but overwhelming. It's been underwhelming, if anything.
Well, that's why he needs to come back, throw this team on his back, and start marching to a Super Bowl. That's what he needs to do in order to be back to where he was before. Because last year he's coming. Look at the impact he made in that Ram game. That game was on the line. They were at risk of losing this game, and it's like he took off his cape. Said, "Okay, I got this." He gets a sack and a couple of pressures, and boom, we move on to the next round. But that type of a thing, and so they need him to show up again. They're gonna need those type of performances. And if Lane Johnson can come back and get that line playing like they did last year, and the thing is, he is like the big brother there. See, he's been there all the time. All these other guys, they revere him, and rightfully so. The guy is a great work ethic. He's not just that he's been a great player all these years. He's been a great role model for those guys. So he's a lot of those guys follow him on that offensive line. Get in there, working out, getting stronger, being ready to play and being in shape, all those type of things. He has been a great role model for all those guys. So getting him back is going to be, it's probably going to be, a bigger factor than we realize.
Nakobe Dean has missed 21 ball games in the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
He is playing, though. I mean, Gary, I didn't really think he was playing that hot heading into that Raider game. I thought he had fallen off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What do you do with Dean in the offseason? Is he somebody that, because quite frankly, Glaze Donut Eagle fan thinks the guy's had a good year. The last month he has not played well. I don't think. I think that's got a lot to do with the D tackle play in front of him, because those guys were getting knocked off the ball, especially in that Chicago game.
That's right.
So that played like a little bit. What do you do with Nakobe Dean in the offseason? Do you bring him back or do you let him walk?
Wow, that I tell you, that's some kind of a question, man. They've got some big decisions to make. I mean, that's a tough question for me to answer, man, because I haven't really made up my mind about it, because he's been a big part of the change in the defense. He is the leader of the defense. He's the guy out there barking. You hear him barking? I go out there and practice. He's the guy barking at people, telling them what they need to be doing and everything. And he's a leader, and he's the thing about him is he puts it all out. Everything he's got, he plays hard, he puts it out. And so they got a tough decision to make to let him go, man. That's a tough decision. But they are going to have to make a decision, That's tough, man, because he's really the leader of the defense.
Okay, how about this one then, too? Are you disappointed in the way that Vic Fangio's handled Jahad Campbell since Dean's been back? Because he was playing a lot of football early.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, his rep count has gone down dramatically.
That's right. Yeah, you're right.
You can't play him at the edge now because you brought in, Jalen Phillips. You've got other guys there. Do you think that Vic and those guys, the way that they've coached him, because, again, at one time, and he wasn't a detriment to the team.
That's right.
He wasn't a liability out there.
Made some big plays, and really, I see
out there, but they shut him down basically. I mean,
you're right.
How do you think they're coaching him?
This past game, I liked what I saw because Vic had said he was going to play him on pass down. See, because he's faster and he's more athletic than Nakobe, So he was having him out there on those third down plays and things, and making a point to get him on the field. Maybe even let him rush the passer some and everything. But he's a young kid where you gotta play this kid some because his upside is bigger than really probably anybody might be anybody on the defense. I mean, he is that much. The kid is that talented where he's a big kid that can run, and not only that, he's smart. He plays. He's been in a good program and coming there playing in Alabama and everything. So he plays smart football. He's made big plays for them when he has played. So they got him on the field. I don't know how much it was yesterday, but I know I saw him out there more. They were making a point to get him on the field and everything. But it's a situation in which you kind of like to because you got good players that you're deciding on how much they're going to play and everything. But I can't say that I know that what they should do, even though getting him on the field as much as possible, because he's a kid that should be on the field. He's that good of an athlete. He's that good of a football player. And the thing, too, is just from being around him, the kid is smart, too. He's football smart. He knows how to prepare for a game. All these things he learned from being there at Alabama. He knows, hey, this is what we got to know. What are they going to do on this down? He's over there talking. You're going like, this kid is, I like this kid, man. And he plays hard. And so you got to let him on the field. But then with Nakobe at the same time, he's the leader of the defense, really. It's a tough decision. But, I didn't know. I don't know how much he played yesterday, but they got to let him play. But they got to have Nakobe in there, too.
Okay, 3 last ones here for you. Ready? Tanner McKee. He's going to be able to be a free agent at the end of the year next year. Do you extend him in the offseason? Do you let him go into 2026 with no contract and he can walk out the building at the end of the year? You've really never seen him. You really don't know what you got. Now, I've heard
he looks good in practice. The kid looks good in practice.
Mickey Loomis, the general manager of the Saints, supposedly they offered a number 3. This was before Phillips' deal. They offered a 3rd rounder. This guy was a 6th-round pick, and Howie said no. How do you handle the Tanner McKee issue in the offseason here? Do you think he has to go somewhere else? Because again, I mean,
I think he's going to have to go somewhere else. I don't see how. I don't see how you can move Jalen Hurts out if I don't know what they do this year, how far they go in the playoffs and everything. But it's hard, after just coming off a Super Bowl victory, it's hard to get him out, especially if they start using him prosperly, which is you got to let him run the ball some. You got to have Jalen, you got to have his legs in their offense. Maybe they didn't need to do that all out through the season. But at this time, and maybe they don't need to do it against Washington. I know you want to keep him healthy. But come the playoffs, they got to be letting Jalen run the ball some, because he's one of the threats that opens up things for Saquon. Because if they're worried about him and he's got a couple guys occupied, a lot of time that guy is the one that made a tackle on Saquon rather than letting that hole open up and him hitting it. You know, he's a big reason that Saquon had the success he had last year, because Jalen was a threat to run all the time. You can't take that out of the offense, and you can't take that away from Jalen Hurts, because that's a big part of his skills. Cannot take that away. So whenever they want to start doing it, I don't care. But doggone it, you better have that ready for the playoffs, or this team is not going to be the same team. They're not the same team running the ball if you don't have that run threat there from Jalen. Got to have that there.
I'm going to bring this last issue up to you here, and I want to read you something. I wrote these little cliff notes down. This is about Hurts. There was a lot of chatter on sitting him, and this is why the 2026 season coming up for Jalen Hurts is a massive year, especially financially. Now, I wrote these cliff notes down. The Eagles likely won't need to extend Jalen Hurts anytime soon, as his fifth-year, $255 million contract runs through 2028, with significant guarantees of money kicking in 2026, which means this. He's going to start making $51 million in 2026. It's significant increases. Now, 2027, 28, they're going to be massive salary cap hits. And this is when everything starts really settling in on the cap.
Yeah.
In your opinion, would you extend Jalen Hurts? Would you redo his contract? Right? Would you redo his contract after the 26th season? Or do you think he's now in a position right now? I mean, Gary, if he gets to the NFC title game, let's just say he gets to the NFC title game.
Yeah.
That would mean that he's been to 3 conference title games. He's won 2 of them. He's won a Super Bowl. He's been to 2 Super Bowls, but he's been to 3 conference title games.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that warrant them working his deal after the 26th season? Or if he doesn't and they implode, I mean, do you think these next 3 games and this offseason has a lot to do with his next contract?
I think so. Yes, I do. They got some tough decisions to make. They do. They like Jalen and his leadership and everything. He's steady. He had the bad game. He threw all those interceptions and everything, but he's a guy that's shown that he's able to deal with all of the heat. He did it in college. He's been able to deal with the heat, and he's been able to come back and everything. And because it gets hot here in Philly, hot, man. So I think they're going to have to keep him. I don't see how you can turn, you're going to have to stay with it. I mean, same thing with Saquon, and they got to go ahead and play this thing out. I think that's what they're in the position right now, where they got to play this thing out. And I just think they can do a better job offensively, though. They could do a better job, I think, coaching. I sit there and I'm looking at the Rams and all the things they do offensively. Come on, man. You guys need to be over here watching this game, and you need to be more creative offensively. Come on. You got all these weapons. You got 2 outstanding receivers. You got a good tight end. You got the running game. Come on, man. You should be able to do more with what you got, and I think they could be more creative with what they're doing. So, and then also, like I said, Jalen's got to be running the ball some. How can you got to keep that in the offense, because it's the threat, an additional threat that occupies 1 or 2 guys, and that ends up being the key with Saquon breaking a run and taking it to the house, or getting tackled for 10 yards or whatever, or you got all these people in the backfield and everything. And I think their passing game can be better, because they should be putting pressure on the defense. And, I do not think this is an outstanding coaching job offensively. When you got all these weapons, you look at other teams who are doing so many different things, and they don't have as many weapons.
Man,
Come on.
I watch the Eagles and their offensive approach. It's so basic, man.
Come
These
on.
are basic go routes.
Come on.
I mean, Gary, there's nothing creative at all about, they added a flip toss in there. I kind of liked it. But really, like you said, when you watch even the Bears.
Come on. Yeah, you're right. The Bears also. The Bears.
And they got a limited guy too.
Come on, man. You should be able to do more than this. Even if I look at the Lions, they're doing creative things. Look, I would go in there with a machete. Nah, I'm just kidding. But but I definitely would put some fire under those guys. Come on, man. Look, you guys need to look at tape of some other teams. They should be more creative, man. I do not think that their creativity. When I see the weapons, we got Saquon Barkley. Okay, I don't think he's lost anything. When they opened the hole like they did last year, what did he do? He took off. He's gone. So it's not where he's lost a step. I understand the line. The offensive line has been hurt. Those guys are playing injured. I understand that, but he could be more creative in the passing game. I mean, look, they should be looking at tape of other teams and Gary, be more creative, man.
Hey, Gary, the glazed donut Eagle fans are out in force because of the Raider game. And I'm with you. I took nothing away from
that was...
I mean...
Come on, the Raiders couldn't even beat themselves.
Have you ever... Look, you were in the league when the Raiders had the greatest win percentage in the history of the league. They won more games than anybody. Al used to be a big fan of the fact that toting around that he had the best win percentage of all time.
That's right.
Of any team. Now, that thing is just a train wreck. I've never seen the Raiders. I mean, the Raiders are better.
They're horrible.
Horrible.
Come on. They didn't even get 100 yards. Come on, man. They are horrible.
Hey.
I mean, that's not an NFL team to me. That is not an NFL. Come on. They're pathetic. And the kid, what's his last name? I forget his last name, McKinney, whatever. I'm feeling sorry for the kid. I'm going like
Kenny Pickett.
I'm going like, man, look at this kid. This is college ball or something. This is not pro ball.
And Lehigh.
Yeah, Lehigh. That's right. That's right. That's appropriate. Lehigh. Nothing against you people out there, Lehigh. But come on. Yeah, come on, man. And
no, I think it's a compliment to Lehigh. Hey, you look like an NFL team compared to the Raiders.
I tell you, man, that was awful. But I just want to see the Eagles see if they can they find a spark, man. They got to play. Come on. But they know because the passing game is so simple, you got to have a running game.
Yep.
You got to have a running game,
Yep.
So,
yep. Absolutely. I'll tell you what, man. Well, now get this. You get the fortunes of the scheduling gods. You get Marcus Mariota for 2 weeks. And then
that's right.
You do have to go to Buffalo, though.
Yeah, you do have to go to Buffalo. Yeah,
it's fighting for the AFC East still. Okay, they got an upset win over the Patriots. So
that's a tough one. That's a tough one there. That's a tough one. But they kind of got with the Cowboys losing, they got to beat the Commanders a couple times. I mean, how hard is that? Got to beat the Commanders. Commanders, they're not any good.
Yeah, no. They got. As you and I would say, they got the U-Hauls packed.
That's right. They got the U-Hauls packed. So you got to beat them a couple times. So that's ultimately what it is. That's something they can do. But they got to be thinking. They got to start playing on a level where you can beat a good team, an outstanding team. You can go into any of this house. Like if you're going to go into LA and beat the Rams, if you're going to go beat Seattle and things. You got to be playing some good football, so they got to get it together.
Absolutely. G-Cobb, thank you, man. Appreciate you very much.
All right, buddy. Hey, have a good one.
You got it. Gary Cobb. Yeah, man. You've beat 2 teams with a winning record in the last 10 games. And I'm supposed to glaze donut. The Oakland Los Angeles, the Las Vegas Raiders. I got to look at that one more time. The Raiders had 75 yards in total offense. Is that right? Glazed donut Eagle guy. Wow. Let's take a look at those team numbers here. 7 first downs. Let me laugh. I need to cheer this thing up a little. 42 total plays. Okay. 75 total yards. They had 8 drives. They had 46 yards rushing on 13 attempts. And you had 20 minutes of football. That's Raider football, man. 20 minutes of football. You show up to play 60 minutes, and you play 20 minutes of offensive football for the Raiders. Dak's having a great year. Meat glazing. Prescott had a great year. He's having a great year. He's one dude. Unlike you like to give all your cherry donuts and your glazed donuts. That he was one of the best quarterbacks. Let's see if he's climbed the hurt. Let's see where Jalen Hurts is right now. All right, so let's see what he's on pace for. Jalen Hurts is on pace for not a bad year. 3,400 passing yards, 27 touchdowns, and 7 picks with 482 attempts. Hey, congratulations, man. That's a heck of a season. 3,400 passing yards? Well, let's see. He upped it. Now, he may not get that because they may shut him down for the final Commander game. Yeah. They may shut him down. Let's see where he is also here. Let's see in attempts. Or is he in the league in attempts? He's 15th in attempts. Prescott's thrown the ball 550 times. Hurts has thrown the football 390 times. What's that tell you? Bo Nix has thrown the ball 500 times. Stafford's thrown the ball 470. And let's see in yards. Let's see where the yardage numbers are. Yards. Where's Hurts in yards? He's 15th. That's not bad. It's middle league. Right now, here's the people that have thrown for more yards than Hurts. Mayfield, Daniel Jones, still, and he missed the game. Caleb Williams, Bo Nix, Sam Darnold have thrown for more yards. Let's see sacks. I don't think he took a sack in that game. Hurts is 10th in sacks. That's not bad. I don't think he took one in that game, which is good. TDs. Hurts is 10th. Not bad. Completions. He's 20th. Yeah. Not a high passing power team. I'm with you. I'm not sold on Chicago either. Absolutely not. I think it's time to separate the glazed tiers. There are glazed, and then there are jelly-filled glazed fans. Yes, I'm with you. What happens when Dak has to win a big game? Cowboys can't. Cowboys can't. Sileo's trolling y'all? Bro, trolling means I go places. I don't go anywhere. And I've done my broadcasting the same way for 35 years, Junior. We are not the Philadelphia Hurts. We are the Eagles. That's better right there, and I like that comment. Silz, what do you think about Coach Carroll? I think he came into a den of horseshit, and there ain't no fixing that. That thing's 5 years away from even looking remotely competitive. Silz said, Dak is playing good, not the Cowboys. Dak is. Let's see what Dak's going to do this year. Here's Prescott's year. Dak Prescott will finish the season with 4,900 passing yards and 32 touchdowns and 12 picks, with a 68.4 completion percentage and a 99 rating. With 634, I mean, they're not very good on defense. He throws the ball twice as much as Hurts does. Yeah, bro, Dak's a better thrower of the football than your boy. Just look at the concepts. Dak is the most overrated. No, dude, your quarterback is the most overrated. You kidding me? He's the most limited quarterback in the league. Garbage time. No, it's not garbage time. It's like the guy in Buffalo. The guy in Buffalo has to win ball games. Dude, I'm going to show you guys. Okay, let me type something in here. Let's just do this. Jalen Hurts is postseason. Jalen Hurts postseason games. Let's take a look at these. Okay. Here's Jalen Hurts' postseason games. Okay. So Jalen Hurts in 2021. 2021. Let's see here. Let's go games. Let me go here. List. And how he's played in all of his games. Okay. 2021. Hurts, 2022. Hurts threw for 154 yards and ran for 71. Super Bowl, I think the best game he's ever played is that Super Bowl he lost. He had 70 yards rushing, and he had 300 yards passing. In 2023, he got annihilated in that Bucs game. And if you look at the rest of these, here's the game logs that he played in the postseason. Let me get the game logs. Here we go. So in 2021, Jalen Hurts was 43 of 23 for 254, two interceptions, and a 60 quarterback rating. In 22, he went for 539, 3 touchdowns, no picks, and they went on to have a great run that postseason. Jalen Hurts was terrible in 3 of the games in 2024. 2 of the games, excuse me. He was not very good in the postseason. One game, he had 90 yards passing. I mean, right? A lot of these numbers, I mean, there's like 3 games that he played great in the postseason. 2 of them were Super Bowls. I thought he was very good in the Super Bowl. I thought the defense was better, but I thought he was pretty good in the Super Bowl this last February as well. Yeah, I mean, he's 6-3 now, obviously with the 4-0 run last year. And the last year he was 71-4. But let's see, he's got 10 TDs and 3 picks, which is fantastic. But there's been games. I mean, most of his postseason games are not that hot. Silz, what happened to George Pickens? He didn't have a good game. I'll be on 7:30 today. Go get it there, big. Hey, I got a great text from him, man. Oh, I'm sure Philly 500 probably thinks the Eagles are back because they beat the shit out of the shitty Raiders. I'm sure he thinks they're back. He makes the right plays. Yes, he does. Silz, why couldn't Dak beat the Vikings? because they don't have a very good team. But where does that rank him? Hey, look, there's no doubt, bro. You got to win postseason games. Okay? For what? It's my show. He didn't say that, Silz. Oh, my bad. Philly 500, right again. Choke season for Dallas. Dallas, too many losses early, man. No question. They weren't going to win the rest of the way out. I think they got better. The Dallas Cowboys got better, though. From what they were at the beginning of the year, the Cowboys got better. Nobody said they were going to Super Bowl. Nobody said that. There was a shot that they had, but they put everything in. Get this. Keep glazing Dak. You'll choke like Dak. He's the biggest choker in the last 10 years. Hey, dude, if you're trying to tell me that you think the Dallas Cowboys are a good football team and that they've got a lot of great talent on it, I think they've gotten better, and that's what I said. Hey, by the way, your quarterback in the last 10 games, Philly, has beaten 2 winning teams. Think about this, guys. In the last 10 games, the Eagles have beat 2 teams that have a winning record. 2 teams. And I'm supposed to sit here and glaze donut the Raiders who didn't get off the bus. Okay? 2 winning teams the Eagles have beaten. 2. I mean, no? Am I wrong? Here. Let's go back and take a look at the Philadelphia Eagles since Liars Month. As we said. And by the way, these aren't stats. This is wins we're talking about. There's nothing to do with numbers here. Here's your schedule. So since October 5th, as we mentioned, you lost to Denver. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 losses. And 6 October 5th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here's who you've beaten. A under 500 Minnesota team, an under 500 New York team. You've beaten Green Bay and Detroit over 500. And you have beaten the Raiders. In 10 games, you beat the Packers and the Lions. And the other winning teams are the Chargers who beat you, Chicago who beat you, Denver who beat you. So, I mean, where are we going here? You're making it sound like you guys have gone out there and beaten the shit out of really good football teams. In what world is that? We beat Minnesota, but Dak couldn't throw a TD pass. So Dak doesn't get a TD pass. Let's see what Dak did in the football game. Let's see what Dak did in this game. Let's see what he did. And actually, we'll see what the whole team did. We'll see what the defense did in the game. So let's go down to the Cowboy game here and see what the Cowboys did. Here we go. So here's the team stats. The Cowboy defense gave up 77 yards rushing, which is great. 327 yards in total offense, which is not bad. 250, and they even got a turnover in the ball game. So those aren't bad defensive stats. Here's where Philly 500's right. The Cowboys were atrocious on third down. They were 2 of 12. Very Eagle-ish. You can't be 2 of 12 with a football team that's a 6-8 team and had 5 wins entering into the game. So he's right there. That's the game. It's 6 for 12. That's sustaining drives. Dak in the ball game was 23 of 38 for 294, no touchdowns and no interceptions in the game. They ran the ball in this game. Williams had a touchdown, and Malik Davis had a touchdown in running the football, so they got 2 TDs there. They had no scoring touchdowns. The game was really on third down. That's a quarterback's responsibility at keeping the drives going. the Eagles are one of the worst football teams in the league on third down. That improved a lot against the Raiders. A lot of metrics are going to improve against the Raiders. You know what? It seems that Pickens took the night off. Dak stunk. That's not what that says. On third down, I will agree. Dak stunk. 23 of 38 for 294. No picks. Shit, that's a Jalen Hurts game. Oh, no, excuse me, except for the yards. Not turning the ball over? Well, let me get this right. The number one priority for Jalen Hurts is not to turn the ball over. He didn't turn the ball over. He played a Hurts-type game, not turn the ball over. By the way, I'll agree with Philly on this. That guy's got to win in the postseason. He totally does. I completely agree with him. Silz, it's great having the Jalenites rejoin us here at JAKIB after their long hiatus. Bums taking a heavy like they weren't hiding. Well, dude, if you take anything out of that football game yesterday and you think that Jalen Hurts is somehow the passing game's back, that's a false negative. Dak bought them Cancun tickets. They sure are now. Their best bet is to try to get to 500, in my opinion. No pun there, but they should try to get at least to 500. Goddard dropped Jalen's perfect passer rating. Yes, he did. And that was perfectly thrown. There is no doubt. That was on him. Silz, the Cowboy defense may not be good, but the Vikings quarterback is terrible. I can't stand that guy. And you're dead right. You can't lose to J.J. McCarthy. Okay? Absolutely. You can't lose to J.J. McCarthy if you're Dak Prescott. I mean, what was McCarthy in this game? I think he stinks. He was 15 to 24 for 250, 2 TDs, and a pick. Lamb got his numbers. Pickens had 3 catches for 33. Yeah, the Cowboys can't lose that game to the Vikings. Actually, I'll take this here. The Cowboys can't lose to the Cardinals and the Vikings. They can't. And Anthony, you handled 50% of Dak glazed donuts every Wednesday. Well, again, we could sit there and glazed donuts. You want glazed donuts? Just take a look at Hurts's play. 2 winning teams they've beaten in 10 games. That's glazed donut. So I know it was limited. What do you think of McKee reading defenses? Brady said McKee's height is a big advantage. Correct. I'm not drafting a quarterback that's 6'1" or under 6'2". I'm not. I agree. I heard Brady say that. Yeah, when you're playing and you got offensive linemen that are 6'6" in front of you, how is that not just a issue for you just seeing downfield? Yeah, I'm not. I think that helps McKee. Okay? Silz needs to think about divorcing Mark. Get out while you can. Hey, bro, I've never been a Cowboy fan, like ever. I was raised in New York. I'm not a Cowboy fan. Even though I played there, that doesn't make me a Cowboy fan. I wanted to put the star on only because Buddy talked shit to me. Yeah, I mean it. Okay? Hey, playing in Dallas didn't make me a fan of the Cowboys. I'm really not even a fan of the Bucks. I just happened to play there and was drafted there. Been to 2 Super Bowls with 1 win. Congratulations to you, Jim Plunkett. My glazed donut is for a Super Bowl MVP then. Who, Jim Plunkett? Silz, if you're not a Cowboy fan, take down the helmet. No, all those helmets are the ones that I played. That's my high school helmet. I was drafted by the Bucks. I played at the University of Miami, played for the Cowboys, and that is my CFL helmet. All those back there are, I never wear a hat from another university unless it's my daughter's GCU. You never see me in a different gear wearing. Oh, you did see me with USF once because Leroy Selman gave me a USF jersey. I think he's got these next 3 games to prove it. Mark will be back to drinking, drunk on the Battle Royale. Boy, he's going to be miserable. I can tell you that. And Philly 500 is pushing it in on him too. He is. He's pushing it in. You know what? Philly 500 is going to have such a smile on his face, not because they kicked the shit out of the Raiders, but Philly 500 is going to have so much glee in Mark's pain. Another year of not making the postseason. Actually, Leroy Selman sent me the USF gear. But oh no, they did send me some. Yeah, I got a brand new hat. I gave it to my wife, and they gave me a shirt. Yeah, USF sent me some gear. They got a bowl game Wednesday night, the Cure Bowl against Old Dominion. Silz, you played for another team. Yeah, you know what? I got to get some of my helmets were stolen, and like my college helmets were stolen and my Buck helmet. So those schools replaced them for me. So those are replacement helmets. That one, that CFL helmet is the legitimate helmet. The Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones gave me that cowboy helmet because I lost my cowboy helmet, and that's my high school helmet there, the Catholic High. And I do have to get a Lions helmet. I enjoyed being there. I was there for about 7 months in Detroit. That was after playing in the Canadian League. Silz, rank these D linemen in order. Brown, Kennedy, Sapp, Maryland. Jerome Brown, 1. Brown, 1. Cortez, 2. Sapp, 3. Maryland, 4. Jerome's the best of them all. Okay? Okay? I mean, Silz, do you remember the Sacramento Surge? I sure do. David Archer was the quarterback. What famous wrestler was also on that team? He's been on this show. Hurts was 12 of 15. If they extend Hurts, we'll always suffer with this horrible offense. When we move on from him, I want a pocket passer. Damn right. If you extend him, my friend, there's no question about it. You'll be screaming and you'll be throwing shit at the TV every single fucking week. Oh, that's a good call. Nope, not The Rock. Twiz got it. Goldberg. You skipped the super. Hey, Xander, okay. Xander and me dying yesterday. He said Jalen was fine. He was 12 of 15. All love, Z, but how ridiculous does that sound and that stat sound? He was 12 of 15. Well, wait a minute. I got to give my boy Big Z some love here. It was the fucking Raiders. You know what? How many people believe this? The Eagles could not have thrown the football in that game. And Hurts could have ran it. And Barkley could have ran it. And they'd have beat them 14-0. The Eagles didn't have to throw a pass in that game to win, is my point. They could have had Elliott kick 12 field goals in that game and he'd have still shut their asses out. And the Rams, I believe. I believe Bill was on the Falcons. He went to Georgia. I think he was a second-team All-SEC. He may have been a first-team All-SEC. Dude, your second team, Tanner McKee, would have lit the fucking scoreboard up, man. Mr. Limited, 12 and 15. Yeah, well, Jalen Hurts can't throw the ball for 40 times. If he does, he's got 5 turnovers. What are you, crazy? Silz, no one needed a Raiders reach around on the show today, right? I didn't seem it. Only maybe M. Reyes. He wanted it. Xander was trying so hard, though, in the postgame show, and I would not bite. Come on, Silz. They took care of business. Okay, yeah. You don't think anything, no, I took nothing away. It was a very short postgame for Big Silz. No, nothing. What did you learn? Nothing. Were you happy with anything? Yeah, they didn't turn the ball over. They played to form, and they played to their character. Yeah, they did that. But you don't get backslaps from me for that. Doing your job? Congratulations for not robbing a bank. I don't know what you want. I got high standards, man. I don't have Raider standards, nor should you have them. Don't you have higher standards? Silz, it was the Raiders. I don't know why more people like that are not talking like that. Silz is like Hurts. Guy gets paid to speak and won't speak. Reminds me of 15 throw attempts. Hear that? Hear that? See, G-Cobb, he's in agreement with me. Guy put a Yankee cap on because Big Silz got to him. And when anybody taking shots at me, because when anybody benching me, he puts a Yankee hat on. What a wimp. Hey, you can't take it? Philly people giving you shit? Hey, what's next? The Montreal Expo hat? What's next? Let me guess, a Ram hat or LA hat. Come on. A Yankee hat. No, I know what's next. Boston hat. He's going to put a Red Sox hat on next. That's old Red Sox hat. Boston. Yeah, hey, they treat you like shit there like they treat you in Philly too, kid. New York, they don't know any better. What football teams have been good in New York the last 10 years? Think about that in New York. Name me a football team that's been good in the last 10 years. Like, they haven't had good football, NFL football, in 10 years. 10 years. They haven't been good. 10 years. Now, listen, I like that. You think I might not like that, but I do. Hurts wants the Eagles to be more like the Yankee dynasty because the Phillies have never had a dynasty. He wants to be like the Yankee dynasty, which is true. Remember something. In New York, with the Yankees, you don't celebrate NFC East crowns. You settle, and you're talking world champions. They only hang, like in Kentucky, they don't hang SEC titles at Rupp Arena. They hang national titles at Rupp Arena. Silz, you don't talk about a game where you take care of business. You just get off work. Well, no, look, man. They didn't play down to their competition. I think that's important in December. I do. I think the NFL is better when Kansas City's in the playoffs. They'll be back. No more Yankees. My wanky Hurts syrup flowing today. Bro, you can never say anything about the Yankees. Ever. Ever. Nothing. Don't talk Yankees. You don't know what you're talking about. That's high-level winning and greatness, and they're here and everyone's here. Remember that. Yankees are here. Their Hall of Fame is the Baseball Hall of Fame. Yankees are here. Everyone else is down there. That's Yankee baseball. It's a game to build off Okay. Yeah, it was. It was a game to build. More people would have the mindset, Silz, if y'all didn't honey glaze the Cowboys for 3 weeks after they beat the Raiders. Y'all let Mark Holmes run amok. That was horrible. Why? They were playing good football then. This is an ebb and flow league there, Marshall. You know that. I mean, wait a minute. Nothing's changed. You think something's changed from the Charger game? That you're a different team? You might be. You're a different team already from the Chicago game. And you're already a different team from the Charger game. Just like the Cowboys are a different team after the Minnesota game. Every week, the teams change. You're finding out more matchups. Look at the Steelers. Right. Steelers are reeling right now. That's not a good football team. Jalen takes no responsibility in the offseason to work on his footwork and hips and no film work. I don't know about that. Appears at times looking uncoordinated throwing the ball. Some are afraid of Tanner. You know what? He's never had good feet. Jalen Hurts doesn't have good mechanics in the pocket. It's one of the reasons why they don't have him throwing the football in a high complex offense. He's got poor mechanics. He drifts in the pocket at times. He drops his eyes. He's a short guy, and he rolls right. And again, he's very he's very predictable. Silz, would you try to sign Becton if he's released in the offseason? No. Why? I'm going to go in a draft to get a younger guy and a healthier guy. Well, wait. It'll depend on the money. Depend on the money. Silz, I'll be hyped if I get a performance like the Raiders against them. Yes, absolutely. Dude, the Commander games, I don't know. I think those are here's what I'm concerned about. The Commander games, to me, don't get hurt. My God, don't get anybody hurt in that game. The Bills game, probably, that Bills game can get you ready for the postseason. You really haven't really beaten a good football team in a long time. When's the last football team you've beaten that was good? Let me see. How long ago was it? 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks ago when you beat Detroit. You haven't beat a good team in a month. So, I mean, Shields, do you think Jake Elliott will be replaced during the offseason? I think there's a high probability of that. I think he's going the other way. Yeah, just don't get hurt in these Commander games. You know? Pretty will be second string at best next season. Never happened. Obviously, this guy doesn't know how the NFL works. So, other than Kelsey calling the protection, should Jalen benefit from that more? Jurgens doesn't do it. I think it slowed his passing game down. I think when he was at his best is when he didn't have to worry about setting protections. I think Jurgens should go back to doing it. That might help the passing game because he was better in 23 and 22 when he wasn't doing it. Because when he did it and he had to start doing it, more turnovers happened. Yeah, and Herbert owns Hurts. You want to go down that lane? Commanders' defense matches up well against the Eagles. If Hurts is throwing the ball, yeah, well, dude, the Commanders have the U-Hauls out. They're going home. Okay? I mean, they're going home, dude. They have no interest in finishing the season out. I don't think NFC Championship game. Yoki. Thurman Munson, one of my favorite players of all time. Me too, growing up. I like Thurman. Well, you haven't beaten a winning team in a month. Hopefully you can beat the Bills. Purdy owns Hurts. Hurts is great at coloring books. Philly 500 told you guys to relax and watch the Cowboys choke season come up December. Cowboys have not won a game in December this year. Cowboys probably won't. I thought it was turf toe, yes. Shanahan holds his breath every time Purdy drops back. You see what Brock's doing this year. You guys are talking shit on him, so let's see what he's doing and where Purdy is. See where Brock Purdy is this year. Football team's 10-4 right now. He's only played 6 games. So he's hard to tell. He's going to have like around $2,000 by the end of the year. 10 games, $2,000. 15 touchdowns. Right now he's got 12 with 3 to play. He's only played in 6 ball games. Mac Jones is having a good year too, man. 28, get this. Mac Jones is going to get a job. 2,600 yards, 16 touchdowns, 7 picks, 97. Had 351 attempts or 289. He's going to get a job somewhere. He is. '49ers will get exposed in the first round. They haven't played anybody, and I agree. Let's see here. Mac Jones is better part. He just got the big contract. Shanahan knows it. He tried to get Mac a couple years ago. Bro, you got a contract. You just gave the guy $50 million. Here's the rule in the NFL. You pay him, you play him. Don't sit fucking people. You fucking drunk? You don't sit guys that are in their 20s that are making $50 million. Doesn't happen. Silz, would you sit Carter Lane and Landon and Juergens the last 2 games if we win Saturday? It all depends on what happens on Thursday night. If the Rams win, your home field advantage is over with. There's no shot of you winning home field. If Seattle wins, you want Seattle to win on Thursday night. You want them getting a bye. And you want the Rams to have to go longer to try to get, remember, that bye and home field, you don't have to win 4 games. You got to win 3 games. You got to win the divisional. You've got to win the conference. Then you got to win the Super Bowl. There's 3 games. You're 12 quarters away from winning the Super Bowl versus being a wild card, and you got to go 4 games in a row. Anything can happen in a 4-game stretch. I think it depends on what happens Thursday night. I mean, perfectly. I mean, look at a weekend, how this bad puppy's lined up here. Look at the NFL this weekend. Look at these games. This is so good, man. Week 16 of the NFL. You got Rams and Seahawks. Then on Saturday, Eagles will take care of business, but you got Green Bay and Chicago. Chicago right now is sitting, I think, in the 3-hole. Chicago's in the 2-hole. There's a shot the Eagles can get up to the 2 spot. Because depending on what Green Bay does, and without Micah Parsons, maybe that favors Chicago because it's in Soldier Field. Then on Saturday, the Bills are going to win that game against Cleveland. Then you'll have to pay the Bills the following week. Chargers play the Cowboys. That'll be interesting. Tampa Bay, Carolina, that's for the NFC South. The winner of that game takes over first place in the South. Jacksonville, Denver will be a freaking huge game. Pittsburgh and Detroit, both teams, I think the losers out of the playoffs. Texans get a break. They play the Raiders. And then Baltimore, New England. You could put to sleep. Get this. You could put to sleep the Ravens if you're the Patriots. And you're still battling it out right now with the Bills now. You can't drop another game. And then San Francisco on Monday night against the Colts. There's some really good football games. Keeps fans tuned in for the whole season. It's the scheduling. It is. Silz, bottom line is Petula needs to be replaced. The Eagles organizations have to get an offensive coordinator that's going to help elevate Hurts' game. Yeah, but they haven't, man. You keep saying that, but they haven't. Bears win Sunday because of Parsons being out. I've never heard of an NFL team. Dude, I agree. I've never seen anything like it in my entire life. Or an NFL football team doesn't have back-to-back home games. I mean, now, I will say this, though. It was a gift at the end of the year. Now, you couldn't really count on whether or not the Commanders, because even the NFL, look, the NFL didn't schedule 2 Commander games that they thought were going to be shitty. They scheduled those games because they believed that the Commanders were going to be in a contest for the NFC Championship game. And they thought that that's what they would be battling. You get what I'm saying? You think the NFL said, well, let's give the defending champs an easy ticket on the way home, giving you the Raiders and 2 Commander games. They thought for sure the Commanders were going to be in a conversation to win the East. That's why they scheduled them. Because if you look at what Carolina and the Panthers have done, they've scheduled Panthers, Dolphins, Panthers. Because they knew those 2 teams would fight it out for the NFC South. Dude, that Saturday game, though, 5 o'clock Eastern, the fuck is that? Why doesn't the coach have Jalen back up more in the gun? Would help. Hey, that's what Drew Brees did. It's a great comment here. Carmine, Brees took 9-step drops, not 7-step drops, because it helped him with the vision of the field because he was a shorter guy. I stood next to Drew Brees at the Outback Bowl back in the day when they played Georgia. I remember going back and telling my wife, dude, what a shame. This guy's got a great arm. He's just too small. Short quarterbacks don't make it in the NFL, really. And how about this? Guys like Hurts, guys like Brees, those are 1 in a million. Most of the guys are 6'3", 6'4", 6'2", big, tall dudes. See over their old linemen. And if you're going to have a shorter guy, I think you have to have more. You know what I think about Jalen Hurts? How come they don't roll him out more? Have him throw on the run. Be able to save more vision. Hey, how come they don't move him around? How come, he's not very mobile in the pocket. You ever notice that? For a short guy, they don't utilize him like in open space at all. That's got to be because they think the quarterback can't throw on the run. I happen to think he's not bad at it. Like, I don't think he's bad at throwing on the run. I mean, I've seen him throw some of them sideline passes. I don't think he's bad at it. But they don't roll him around a lot. They don't move him like, sprint outs. There's no sprint out pass game at all. And you would think because him being so short that they'd want to move him around a little bit, get him out in the flats, get him so that you have more lanes and more open space. But they don't really do that. That's correct. It's probably why they don't. Because you're right. Rolling out means you have to, be a guy who can read a defense on the run. And I'm not sure he can. He's not that good throwing on the run. He has bad vision to begin with. Okay, probably why they don't. Silz, when you broke Randy White's freshman bench record in 83, how much did you press? 420. I did 420 pounds when I was 18 years old. And then I broke then I have the Miami record. I got that at 535. I did that when I was 20. So, yeah, and that record's still there. Both records, 83 record and the 86 record are still there. I still owe those bad puppies. By the way, just remember, too, I ran a 4.8. Just can't wait until the next game. This is way too much winning for him. I bet it is. 420. How you doing? Right. I bet it is. Now, look, man, listen, they took care of business. Hurts, first thing, take that fucking visor off. Well, you didn't like the Yankee lid. Big Z didn't think it was anything. He didn't think that Yankee lid was anything. I'm with Gary Cobb. Wearing New York lid inside of a Philadelphia press conference. This guy was taking shit on people. New York. Yeah, in a Philadelphia press conference. Silz, any news on Devontae Adams? That would be a huge loss. Silz, you couldn't have dominated in the NFL. I loved you at Miami. I could have dominated in the NFL. Wasn't meant to be, man. More on me, though, Chris. I screwed that thing up. My aunt tells me that I'm crazy to talk like that, but I did. Trust me. I look in the mirror all the time and go, what did I do? Hey, Big Sil's screwing something up. Trust me, my wife would tell you, really? You said the Redskins would win the East. I did. Just I think you have a lot of new people in the chat. They really don't know. Okay, they don't know me yet? Well, you better ask somebody. Silz, who do you think will be coach of the year, Vrabel or Sean Payton? Or Liam Cohn? Payton won't win it. But Vrabel's probably going to win it. Where is Cadaldi? Hey, guys, my friend. What are you glazing? Your great win over the Raiders? I only bring Angelo out when I need it, when it's a big moment. Not a Raider win. Are you crazy? Angelo after a Raider win? I don't bring Angelo out as an opening act for the Raiders. Okay? I bring him out when you need Angelo Cataldi. How about them Cowboys and that great quarterback, Dak Prescott? Yeah. 60 mil, baby. Highest paid player in the league. As you hear, we're back. The Jalenites in their Super Bowl yesterday. Yeah, I said it on Friday. Okay. Yeah, I said it. I said, Xander was trying so hard too, man. You didn't take anything away? No. Silz, nothing? No. You weren't impressed by anything? No. Nothing impressed me. I was not impressed by anything, really. Nothing. Let's see over here. Oh, yeah, my ex account. You're such a hater. You hate everything. You're a racist. Oh, my God, these poor guys. I did change my mask head, though. Big Silz, 1987, drafted by the Bucks. Michael Irvin, 88, by the Cowboys. Alonzo Highsmith by the Houston Oilers. There's my boy Fagan. That's on that wall when you walk into the Canes. It's the NFL Wall of Fame in Miami. Big Silz is on it. How you doing? Jailenites unite. Over under. AJ is here next year. I'm taking the under on that one there, Junior. He ain't here next year. No way. Brett was a great player. As a matter of fact, you want to hear something crazy great? Every single wide receiver that was on my football team made the Pro Bowl. Eddie Brown, Michael Irvin, Brett Perriman, and Brian Blades. Every one of those guys went to the Pro Bowl. It's racist if you don't praise the Eagles win. Ambrose with a home run here. Yes. If I don't praise Hurts, I'm a racist. If I do, we're good. Silz isn't racist. He just doesn't like the culture. Dude, Italians and the brothers? I thought we were related. Silz have played 14 Super Bowls already this year. The Eagles have played 14 Super Bowls. That's good. Yes, you're getting everybody's best game. I completely agree. That may have been one of the most impressive things I've seen all year. A 44-year-old Phillip Rivers gets off the couch and almost beats the Seahawks. I don't know about you, but that's pretty amazing. This guy hasn't played a lick of football. He's had no training camp, and he almost beats the Seahawks. That's about as impressive as you can get. Wild. That Rob Reiner thing, his kid knifed his wife and him. Rest in peace, dude. Meathead. Some of you guys are too young, but man, he's not only an acclaimed director now, Rob Reiner, but I know his politics was different than a lot of people, but I have no right for that. I guess they got into a heated argument, and the kid, like, allegedly, I mean, I don't know. I'm just hearing what people have been posting. Like, he slit their throats. He slit their parents' throats. Wow. Yeah, just wild. I mean, yeah, disgruntled. Can't wait. Too soon? Yeah, maybe a little. Supposedly the kid did drugs. Yeah, man, that's a sad story, man. Oh, absolutely. Rob Reiner's his own man too, right? Okay. Truly, man. I mean, I grew up on Rob Reiner. All in the Family. It was not only, think of this. Remember something this. Over 60% of America used to tune in that show. And this is when you couldn't rewatch movies and rewatch TV. You had to watch it. You had to sit there and watch it. 60 million people used to watch that thing, like, when it came on, when I was a kid. And there were only 3 channels or 4 channels. It's freaking amazing. Like, you would never see that today. Like, you couldn't tape it. There was none of that. You had to watch that thing. I mean, and plus, I don't believe that All in the Family could be on TV today. Because it was pretty racy, man. Yeah, I mean, Ali all day, bro. This is danger of constantly calling on. Hey, well, man, yeah, I'm not going down that lane. Not today. That was a sad story, man. That's a mom, a dad, and a kid. Man, you talk about not getting it right. Holy cow, is that terrible? Hey, let me pay some bills. Sanders going to kill me. I haven't taken a break. Because we've had a lot of fun here on a Monday here. Imagine that. Big Silz can rock it, man, without taking a break. Bang. How you doing? All right. The number one injury law firm in all of America is Morgan & Morgan. There is no question when you're talking about having your family protected and having your family with lawyers that are going to make sure that this is going to be the number one thing they do is protecting your family. If you've ever been injured, this is the number one thing that Morgan & Morgan does. Folks, I promise you, this will be the easiest decision that you've ever made. They don't get paid unless you win. Simple as that. Go to forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. I implore you. Trust me when I tell you. I've known the family for over 25 years. Go to For the People, FOR, thepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529 and do me a favor. You tell them Big Sales sent you.
There's a reason Detective Johnson is the gossip king.
Oh, did you hear? Jackie and Tom
are getting a divorce? Sad.
Well, I heard that Ashley
Had work done on her face? Yeah, oof.
Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Injured? With over $25 billion recovered for our clients, there's a reason to go big.
Bathroom? Okay.
Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Oh, okay.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica, who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers, to the Shot Takers and the Tastemakers. Welcome to the Viewfinders, the Thrill Seekers, and the Night Owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand.
Thank you.
We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
We were an animal today. One break, 4 hours. Bang! That shows you we love it, man. We appreciate each and every single one of you. Do me a favor. Please hit the like button. We can't thank you enough. You got a short work week. You got Commanders, thank God, on Saturday. A get-right game, another get-right game, and then you got the Bills on the other side of that. You guys are great. I'll see you tomorrow, 2 to 6, and we'll see you on the flip side.